Your racing radio station in Melbourne, 3UZ Good Sports. In Perth, 6PR. And in Brisbane, Radio 4BC. Proud supporters of the Australasian Racing Year. Once again this year, Raceplay the sporting company has been joined in the production of the Australasian Racing Year by Sky Channel, Australia's satellite sporting network.
Welcome to the 9th edition of the Australasian Racing Year. Once again, the Raceplay team and myself are proud to present a roundup of the highlights from season 90-91.
Since training his first Melbourne Cup winner 25 years ago, Bart Cummings has tasted success in Australia's greatest race on a record 7 occasions. 12 years had passed since his last victory in 1979 with Hyperno, but the Cup's King was back again this year to add to his tally. Wearing the yellow and red colours of owner breeder David Haynes, Sydney jockey Darren Beedman guided the American-bred Kingston Rule to victory. In winning the Cup, the son of US Triple Crown winner Secretariat and former Ansett Horse of the Year, Rose of Kingston, ran a new record for the 3,200 metres. An expatriate New Zealander, Shane Dye, has gained a reputation as one of the best big race riders in the country. That reputation was enhanced this season when Dye won 7 Group 1 races, including his 3rd consecutive Golden Slipper Stakes, the world's richest race for 2-year-olds. When the controversy surrounding a positive swab from Tierce had been resolved, the Clary Connors trained colt went on to capture our 2-year-old Triple Crown and became the first horse to do so since the Great Luskin Star in 1977. The mercurial TJ Smith celebrated 50 years of training in fine style when Dorset Downs won the QTC Derby. It was the 35th time that a Smith-trained 3-year-old has saluted the judge in a derby, a world record that's just one of TJ's many career highlights. The Little General, who's won the Sydney Trainers Premiership on 34 occasions, is looking forward to preparing Dorset Downs for the 91 Melbourne Cup, a race he won with Just a Dash in 81 and Topperoa in 55. Congratulations, TJ, and the best of luck on the first Tuesday in November. The breeding industry suffered a loss when the 1988 Golden Slipper winner Starwatch died prematurely as a result of a twisted bow. Woodland Stud, the breeding arm of Ingham Bloodstock, who stood the son of Bletchingley, moved quickly to purchase the 1990 Slipper winner Canny Ladd as a replacement for Starwatch. Canny Ladd is also a son of champion sire Bletchingley and commences stud duties at Woodlands this season. Bozam, a former Ansett Horse of the Year, left for Japan to commence stud duties amid a veil of secrecy surrounding his purchase price. The champion 3-year-old, who trained on at 4 to become a weight-for-age star, won 5 Group 1 races and $2.4 million in prize money during a career that was curtailed through injury. Part owner Bart Cummings was unable to find a local buyer to match the Japanese offer, which reportedly valued the son of Zamazan at $5.8 million, a price that would make Bozam the most valuable thoroughbred ever sold in Australia. We may have lost Bozam, but we did win the Japan Cup. In company with Stylish Century, the David Hayes trained Better Loosen Up followed the trail blazed by the New Zealand mare Horlicks to represent Oceania in this truly international Group 1 event. Connections of Better Loosen Up were quietly confident of success going into the $3.4 million race, and the 5-year-old justified their faith and his selection, winning in a stirring finish. Better Loosen Up's victory was acclaimed as Australia's most significant success on the international scene. Rookie trainer David Hayes made the racing world sit up and take notice on Derby Day at Flemington when he trained a world record 6 group winners. Lindsay Park trained horses achieved another milestone in May at the provincial track of Gawler in South Australia, when they passed the $10 million mark for prize money earned for the season. Add to that the Cox Plate, the Japan Cup, the South Australian and Victorian Trainers Premiership, and it was clearly a satisfying beginning to the training career of David Hayes. Ian McEwen, one of the most innovative and progressive racing administrators seen in Australia, retired at the end of the season. In his 21 years as Chief Executive of the Moonee Valley Racing Club, McEwen pioneered many innovations which have improved the quality of racing, not only at Moonee Valley, but across the country. Moonee Valley, the home of the Cox Plate, where legends are made, has created another legend. Australian racing salutes Ian McEwen. On a sad note, racing lost one of its true characters with the passing of trainer Jim Surkey. Surkey achieved the biggest win of his long and colourful career when Dandy Andy scored an upset win in the '88 Australian Cup. Jim Surkey travelled the length and breadth of Australia with his horses, winning races from Ascot in Western Australia to Eagle Farm in Queensland, and a lot of racecourses in between. Kingston Town, Australia's first equine millionaire and one of the legends of the Australian turf, was laid to rest at the age of 14 following a paddock accident. The black horse was idolised throughout Australia during a career in which he won 30 races, including a staggering 14 Group 1 successes. Kingston Town's 3 consecutive victories in the Cox Plate created a record destined to stand forever. The King is dead. Long live the King. Australian Racing 1990-91. Another memorable year.
The first segment focuses on Australia's greatest race, the Foster's Melbourne Cup. To introduce you to the Cup contenders is Brian Martin from Radio 3UZ in Melbourne.
Thank you, Bill. On the strength of his good form from the previous season, the Bob Hoisted-trained Citizen was one of the early favourites for the Melbourne Cup. The annual pilgrimage of stayers from New Zealand were also here chasing the big prize money on offer. And it was one of those Kiwis who won the first of 80 Group 1 races. We'll review on this edition of the Australasian Racing Year.
Zabeel has hit the front from Stylish Century down to the 200. Then Royal Creation and Citizen answering the whip. Zabeel in front with 100 to go. Clark has him under pressure. He's a half to Royal Creation, Citizen, and the Phantom is swapping them. Zabeel in front, the Phantom and Royal Creation, but the Phantom has got up to win. A great victory from last. The Phantom
coming off a
beats
win in
Royal
the Memsie
Creation.
Stakes, the Phantom's first Group 1 success confirmed the potential he'd shown on previous visits to Australia. Having only the 22nd start of his career, the Phantom was elevated to favouritism for the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups on the strength of that win.
Up in Sydney, the stayers contested their first Group 1 event of the season, the Metropolitan Handicap.
Heads a turn for home. Donegal Miss leads them in the Metrop, a length on Princeville. Now Dittman pops the question to Fine Catch, who's starting to hit top gear. Further out is I'm in Heaven. Donegal Mist in front of Princeville. Fine Catch is struggling a bit now. I think he might be gone. And Donegal Mist has booted away at the 200. Donegal Mist shot clear of Princeville. Fine Catch is plugging on gamely. I'm in Heaven is coming home well, and Shally are wider out. But Donegal Mist is going to continue the freakish trot for owner Martin Doherty and trainer Jeff Mains. And Donegal Mist wins the Metropolitan.
Donegal Mist's win provided a good start to the season for Warwick Farm trainer Jeff Mains and New Zealand jockey Grant Cooksley. Winning his second Group 1 race in the space of 5 days must have been an influencing factor in Cooksley's decision to base himself permanently in Sydney.
Just over 2 weeks after the Underwood Stakes, Citizen showed the benefit he derived from that run at Caulfield.
In the straight and Mickey's Town hit the front. Stargazer fights back. The run for Citizen in the middle. Then Eastern Classic. Citizen took the split. He's raced to the front now from Mickey's Town. Here's Superimpose, but Citizen's got a break by 2. Superimpose rattling home. Citizen a neck. He wins it. Citizen a neck to Superimpose. 3 lengths away third is Mickey's Town.
The Herbert Power Handicap is one of the traditional lead-up races to the Foster's Caulfield Cup. Several stayers from the New Zealand contingent contested the 2,400-metre race on their way to the Melbourne Cup.
And Savage Toss has been joined by Equidity on the outside, and Equidity takes the lead at the 400. They were followed as they sweep the turn by Freed and then Mr. Brooker. Back behind them is Ali Boy, pulled out for his run, and then Delmar. It's Equidity bursting 3 lengths in front down to the 200 from Mr. Brooker. Ali Boy, and here's Just an Answer from a mile back coming home well. Equidity in front, he's only a length and a half. Just an Answer's wearing him down, and then Ali Boy, but Just an Answer out wide has swept to the front. And for Cassidy, it's Just an Answer who wins by about a length and a half. Frontier Boy a slashing run second, Ali Boy third. Then
With the connections of the Phantom electing to bypass the Caulfield Cup, Just a Dancer was elevated to second favourite behind Citizen in the $1 million race. Since the introduction of metrics in 1972, only Ming Dynasty has carried more than 57 kilos to success in the Cup. Could Citizen become the second horse to do so?
Donegal Mist in control, 3/4 of a length clear of Mickey's Town. Livingstone Lane's third, the outside of Chevelle Cavalier. Raise Hope is a handy fifth, and they're followed then by Ricochet Rosie. Royal Creation next, and back on the inside, Rough Habit, Universal Ambition. Trailed next by Shazora, Prince Salieri. Citizen being niggled at on the inside of Waterboatman, Savage Toss. Then Solar Circle, the rails. Just a Dancer still well back from Terrific and Shalea. They've gone past the 800 metre mark now. Donegal Mist just in front, coming down the side from Mickey's Town. Ricochet Rosie to fight the hard runners there third. Then Raise Hope, followed by Chevelle Cavalier. Livingstone Lane dropping out. Citizen getting up on the inside, and then Rough Habit. Solar Circle following Citizen through on the rails. Then Savage Toss. Shazora well back, coming to the home turn, and so is Just a Dancer pulled out wide for his run on the turn, and Donegal Mist and Mickey's Town come round the bend and turn together in front of Chevelle Cavalier. Citizen getting up on the inside, about to come out after them now. It's Mickey's Town and Donegal Mist, grabbed by Citizen. Dittman wields the whip and Citizen answers brilliantly. He sprints and gets away. Citizen by 2, Donegal Mist. Waterboatman finishing well, but it's Citizen's Caulfield Cup. 2 lengths in front, and Citizen wins it. Citizen by 2 lengths. Waterboatman second. Photo third. Shazora the outside, and Donegal Mist. Then Mickey's Town.
Assisted by a brilliant Mick Dittman ride, Citizen registered the 4th Group 1 success of his career in winning the Caulfield Cup and took his stake earnings to $2.35 million.
In recent years, the Moody Valley Cup has proven to be a valuable guide to the Melbourne Cup, and this year was no exception.
Racing up to the school, 700 to go, the chips are down. Double Gin being tackled in front by Flying Luskin, and Kingston Rule the outside. Mount Olympus coming into the picture. Lord Malay's had enough. Our Magic Man at the head of the others, followed by Chalea. Cosine on the inside, and then Batuta, and Terrific 7 lengths from the lead, followed by Equidity and Hassam. They're homeward bound, and Flying Luskin is the leader, challenged by Kingston Rule, who's travelling well, and Cassidy stuck a look back, followed by Mount Olympus, and then Double Gin Chalea. Halfway down the straight, Kingston Rule applies the pressure, hits the front from Flying Luskin, and then Chalea, and Kingston Rule goes on to win. Second placing Flying Luskin, third Chalea. From
Kingston Rule's strong wind suggested the American-bred Entire was coming good at the right time. Jim Cassidy, however, selected the Herbert Power winner Just a Dancer as his cup mount, forcing Bart Cummings to find a substitute rider. Leading Sydney jockey Darren Beedman grabbed the opportunity and rode the flashy chestnut for the first time in the Dalgety Handicap.
Going past the 400 now, and Love You Perth in front, but Mount Olympus has gone up quickly on the outside. Mount Olympus hit the front at the 300 metre mark. Kingston Rule a length and a half behind it. Then came Goliath, and further back is La Tristia. It's Mount Olympus in front, down passing the 100. Still in front by a length and a half to Kingston Rule. Mount Olympus 3/4, Kingston Rule, he's running out. Mount Olympus still in front, and Mount Olympus will win it. Mount Olympus from Kingston Rule by half a length.
Kingston Rule turned in an eye-catching performance behind the David Hayes-trained Mount Olympus, who joined the Caulfield Cup runner-up Waterboatman as a contender for the honours on the first Tuesday in November. The McKinnon Stakes also attracted several Cup contenders, including the New Zealander Mr Brooker, who'd won the Geelong Cup at his previous start. While Australia's Japan Cup representatives Better Loosen Up and Stylish Century fought out an exciting finish to the race, Mr Brooker's third placing was an eye-catching run from a Cup point of view.
And Better Loosen Up has beaten Stylish Century by a long neck. 2 lengths away third is Mr Brooker, and then came...
The 1990 Foster's Melbourne Cup attracted the most evenly matched field seen in the last 20 years. On Cup Day, Kingston Rule shortened from his opening quote of 12-1 to 7-1 to join the Phantom as equal favourite for the 130th running of the Cup, which carried prize money of $2 million.
They're set, racing. Kingston Rule a little awkward to begin down in the inside. Ali Boy jumped away okay. Flying Luskin was away well, and the Phantom getting back looking for a place as La Tristia jumped away from the stalls quickly. Shane Dye grabbed hold of Shalea and is heading over towards the inside rail, and so is Citizen back towards the rear. Donegal Mist is prominent on the outside as Our Magic Man and Selwyn's mate, and Mr Brooker is heading into a nice place early as they race past the 2,800 metre mark, and Savage Toss is in front down the straight the first time. Savage Toss in front, Our Magic Man is second, then La Tristia third, the inside followed by Donegal Donegal Miss, Selwyn's mate the outside. Now Botto next on the rails, followed further back in the field by Mr. Brooker, Kingston Rule, Wonder Flying Luskin, Ali Boy, then Rising Fear and Equidity. Mount Olympus on the Phantom, well back on the inside. He's followed then by Shazura, Waterboatman, Del Raffin, and then came Rainbow Myth. Citizen has about 5 behind him, and they include Frontier Boy, who's just ahead of about 4 horses, including Batuta as they head out of the straight, and then Terrific Just a Dancer, and Shalea last of all as they head towards the riverside and towards the 2,000 metre mark in the Cup now. Near to the turn, Savage Toss in front, a half length, Our Magic Man. La Tristia is third, and Selwyn's mate dropping out of it, followed further back by Naboto and Mr. Brooker coming into it. Back behind those horses is Kingston Rule and Flying Luskin as they turn the corner, and then Equidity, Frontier Boy and Terrific well back. Shazura ahead of those. They're into the straight, and Savage Toss the leader from Our Magic Man, leads by about a length and a half, and then La Tristia and Naboto. Kingston Rule getting up on the inside, Mr. Brooker wider out, followed by the Phantom and Flying Luskin at the 300. Savage Toss in front. Our Magic Man tries to get him, and Kingston Rule's coming home very stoutly. Kingston Rule has hit the front. Here's Naboto and Mr. Brooker. Kingston Rule in front from the Phantom, diving up on the inside. Kingston Rule and the Phantom from Naboto. It's Kingston Rule to give Barty's 8th. Kingston Rule from the Phantom. Third is Mr. Brooker. Then
Kingston Rule's win in the record time of 3:16.3 gave the Cup's king Bart Cummings his 8th triumph in Australia's greatest race. For owner-breeder David Haynes, Kingston Rule's victory was a dream come true. Bred in Kentucky, the chestnut is a son of the American Triple Crown winner Secretariat and Australian Horse of the Year in 1980, Rose of Kingston, whose wins included the AJC Derby.
Unfortunately, Kingston Rule injured a tendon in the autumn while preparing for the BMW in Sydney. There is a chance he may return to racing, but if he doesn't, his impeccable bloodlines will ensure success at start. Well, that concludes our opening segment. Bill will take us through the set weight races for 3-year-olds, the classics.
Last season's champion 2-year-old Kenny Ladd commenced his 3-year-old campaign down the straight 6 at Flemington in the Ascot Vale Stakes.
At the 300, and Bureaucracy dashed to the front from Storaya. 2 lengths back is Kenny Ladd, but Bureaucracy clear with 100 metres to go. Dittman pulled the whip. He's a length. Storaya, Kenny Ladd 3 lengths astern. Bureaucracy's finding plenty, holding Storaya, and Bureaucracy wins the Ascot Vale, a length Storaya. 2.5 lengths away third. Kenny Ladd in a photo declares Girl a big run and the Guida. Then again,
with the advantage of race fitness, Bureaucracy ran a race record of 19.1 in winning the Ascot Vale. 2 weeks later at Moonee Valley, the Sydney-trained colt and Kenny Ladd met again, this time over 1,600 metres.
At the school now, it's Bureaucracy by about a length over Morven Worry and Temperate King. King spoke the fence. Over on the outside, Kenny Ladd called on for his run. Di gave him a slap with a whip, and then Storaya Black Opera, followed by Mudgee Grey Abandoned War. Bureaucracy showing the way as they turn for home. Kenny Ladd's the threat. They've come clear. It's Bureaucracy tackled by Kenny Ladd on the bend. 3 lengths Storaya. Bureaucracy and Kenny Ladd slog it out. Hall and Die clear of Storaya. Bureaucracy just in front of Kenny Ladd. It's Bureaucracy hanging on. Kenny Ladd's dived. I think he's got up. I think Kenny
After a
Ladd's
head-to-head
beaten
battle,
Bureaucracy.
Kenny Ladd got the verdict in the Billstud Stakes, a race renamed in honour of Moonee Valley's retired chairman. Up in Sydney, the Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes is one of the Australian Jockey Club's feature races during their spring carnival.
Over the rise, Fire Oak and Lord Encore, the 2 leaders, and they're clear. On the outside, Stradmore and Calais Star. St Jude is getting between them, and then Lord Revener, and right down the outside, What a Hit is winding up now. It's St Jude bursting through an opening to head Fire Oak. What a Hit and Calais Star can't pick up the leaders. St Jude is clear, getting close to home over Fire Oak. What a Hit can't do any better. St Jude wins the Champion Stakes, a long neck to Fire Oak. In third place, What a Hit, and then Calais Star. Lord
A
Revener,
$26,000 purchase at the 89 Magic Millions sale. St Jude had won the Colts division of the Magic Millions 8 months prior to recording his first Group 1 success. Trained in Queensland by Bruce McLaughlin, this colt is by God's Walk from the Blue Diamond Stakes winner Out of Danger.
St Jude then tracked south in search of further Group 1 success. His opposition in the $500,000 Caulfield Guineas included the class colts Canny Lad and Bureaucracy.
Past the 600 and the bullfighter is just in front of Bright Kite and St Judas third. Storaya needs a run, travels well before the turn. Then Nonpareil, Centro wide out. Bureaucracy was next, trailed by Lord Revener coming around the outside. Canny Lad giving them a long start as they wheel the corner in the Guineas. Bright Kite and the bullfighter in front of St Jude coming at them, and Centro wider out. Then Storaya and further back Lord Revener and Chimesam. St Jude hit the front at the 200 from the bullfighter. Now Chimesam squeezing through. Integris coming with its run. Centro on the outside. It's Centro taking the lead. Chimesam cutting it back. Centro, Chimesam, Centro. Centro has won it from either Chimesam or Integra, who's dived through in the middle. Then came Lord Revener.
Centro survived a protest to give the Friedman-Oliver combination their first Group 1 success of the season. A $120,000 purchase at the '89 Dalgety Premier Sale, Centro's win took his sire's progeny earnings past the $10 million mark.
Without doubt, the highlight of Derby Day at Flemington this season was David Hayes' world record of training 6 group winners in one day. David didn't have a runner in the Victoria Derby. However, the winner created its own piece of history.
Sweeping up towards the turn. 650 metres left to go in the Derby now. And still special guest in front. Fire Oak throws out the challenge immediately. They turn for home. Big Dermot is just behind those horses, followed by St Jude. Then came Lycra getting up on the inside. Centro's out for his run. Further back is Waterhead as they balance for home now. And Canny Lad getting up on the inside, but under a lot of pressure. It's Fire Oak in front down to the 300 of the Derby. Centro challenges. Now Lord Revener's coming home well. St Jude in the middle. Centro at the 200. And Fire Oak are locked together from Lord Revener, and they're followed by St Jude. It's Centro the outside and Fire Oak the inside, and Centro, nothing between them. Fire Oak has his nose in front. Centro lunge, bobbing finish. Centro and Fire Oak, I can't separate them, a bobbing finish. Centro the
In winning the
outside.
VRC Derby, Fire Oak became the first maiden to do so since Savoy in 1967, and only the 4th in the history of the Classic. Fire Oak is a grandson of the '78 English Derby winner Shirley Heights.
South Australian trainer Brian Murphy had planned to start his colt Durbridge in the Derby. However, an interruption to his preparation enforced a change of plans. The Group 2 Sandown Guineas became his target.
In the straight now, and Premier Copper still in front of Manitou, leads about a length. 2 lengths away is now Pre-Record starting to unwind a strong run. Durbridge is coming home well, and so is Bold Rancher. Pre-Record hit the front at the 100. Durbridge is starting to eat up the ground. Pre-Record a half in front of Durbridge. Pre-Record a nose. Durbridge goes home best. Durbridge takes the lead from Pre-Record, and Durbridge wins the Guineas from Pre-Record by a long neck. 2 lengths away third is Bold Rancher. Followed in
the Sandown Guineas was to be the forerunner of further success for Durbridge. Before we look at his autumn campaign, we'll cross the Tasman to review 3 of New Zealand's classics. First up is the 2000 Guineas at Riccarton.
500 metres to run on the Guineas now, and Steinix hit the front with 400 metres to run. Wider out, Ducato's coming on the scene, and full time up the centre, battling a bit down on the inside as Retton. Try Peter. Where's the favourite? Here he comes through the centre now. Surfers Paradise bulldozing through at the distance. At the moment, full time's reached the lead from Ducato. Surfers Paradise and Eagle Eyes putting in a run down the outer. It's Surfers Paradise on the inside. Full time's holding down the outside. Eagle Eye, they hit the line. Surfers Paradise in the middle.
Prepared by New Zealand's leading trainer Dave O'Sullivan, Surfers Paradise held off the fast-finishing Eagle Eye who'd been checked at the start. It was a different story, though, in the Bayer Classic, a race which the mighty Bone Crusher counted amongst his wins. In those days, the Bayer Classic was a Group 2 event, but is one of the few races in recent times to be promoted to Group 1 status.
By Be Happy. Ducato's dropped out with last go and almost being pulled up at the back of the field as they run towards the turn was Cool Rocker, but Play On's the leader into the straight now from Dan Jeeky, and down the outside comes Eagle Eye, and Sir Alberton unwinding strongly through on the inside. Sir Albert on the inside and Dan Jeeky and Play On, and here's Eagle Eye down the outside with a big run. Sir Alberton in front of Eagle Eye, Play On, Dan Jeeky, and further back to Steinig. It's Sir Alberton, Eagle Eye on the outside. Sir Alberton, Eagle Eye's coming at it strongly now, and Eagle Eye's going to win. Eagle Eye wins the Mayor from Sir Alberton and Play On.
Eagle Eye's win brought a welcome change of luck for trainer Murray Baker. Prior to the Classic, Baker had prepared the runner-up in several feature races, including the Phantom in this year's Melbourne Cup. Eagle Eye is the 8th individual Group 1 winner, sired by Grosvenor.
Unfortunately, Eagle Eye suffered a slight injury during the running of the Bayer Classic, which prevented him from taking his place in the Derby field at Ellerslie. Surfers Paradise started favourite in the $300,000 Classic.
On the turn, play on the leader. Surfers Paradise is poised to pounce. Coming out wider here is He's a Kiwi and Sir Alberton getting out. Lord Revenant down the outside. The big guns are coming to the lead. And it's now Surfers Paradise, Sir Alberton, and out wide Lord Revenant. Surfers Paradise in charge. Sir Alberton still trying hard. Lord Revenant on the outside of the two and play on, battling on the inside. Surfers Paradise, Sir Alberton trying to get him. Corndale's the danger. Surfers Paradise in front. Corndale coming after it. Surfers Paradise beat Corndale. Third, Sir Alberton in a photo with play.
In winning the Derby, Surfers Paradise became the 3rd Derby winner, sired by Crested Wave, who stands at Hanui Farm. The little horse with the big heart was ridden by New Zealand's leading rider, Lance O'Sullivan.
Following his close-up third to Better Loosen Up in the Cox Plate in the spring, it appeared that Canny Lad had failed to stay the journey in the VRC Derby. In the autumn, his connections had every reason to believe that the colt had returned to his best form following his brilliant first-up win.
Vane Rancher led at the 300 Rookaria. Canny Lad comes at them strongly on the outside with fluent stride. He goes out after Vane Rancher, and at the 200 has hit the front. He's pulled the whip now. Cassidy the answers brilliantly and dashes away from Vane Rancher. Meg's Ego. Draw card finishing well, but Canny Lad outclasses him and wins it by 3.5. Vane Rancher held on to second, Meg's Ego third.
The Sydney filly Triscay had shown during the spring that she too had a touch of class. Against her own sex in the autumn, she proved to be almost unbeatable. In the Group 1 Cadbury Australian Guineas, she challenged the colts and won.
Direction first into the straight from the strategist. St Jude directly behind the leader looking for the way clear, and then Triscay, Trustful just ahead of her on the outside, and further back in the field Temperate King and Centro is wide out. The strategist and direction with St Jude going for the rails. Triscay is closing at a good rate now at the 300, and Triscay swept to the front. She got a half a length in front of St Jude, who's trying very hard, and then a gap to Centro and the strategist. It's Triscay in front though, holding St Jude at bay. This bonny filly dashes away in the last 100. Triscay full of running, bolts in. Triscay wins it by about 3 eased up. My Eagle Eye has got up to run second. A photo.
When asked to accelerate by Mick Dittman, Triscay put the result beyond doubt in a few strides. In winning her 11th race, Triscay took her earnings to $1.1 million and earned a meeting with Canny Lad at Caulfield.
Round the bend, Big Colony joined by Triscay on the outside, and they've raced 3 lengths in front of My Eagle Eye. Then Durbridge on the outside. Canny Lad not in the hunters. Triscay went past the 200 under the whip from Clark. Drew 2 or 3 lengths in front. Durbridge running a big race in second spot, followed by My Eagle Eye. But this grand filly Triscay is going to win it, and Triscay scores by 2 lengths to Durbridge. Third placing went to My Eagle Eye, and then the strategist fourth. Canny Lad next on the outside with
Triscay's win was full of authority, whereas Canny Lad disappointed his new owners, the powerful Ingham Bloodstock. Plans to run the Golden Slipper winner in the AJC Derby were abandoned, and Canny Lad was retired to Woodland Stud in the Hunter Valley. On the strength of her win at Caulfield, punters rallied to support Triscay in her next race against the colts, the Alistair Clark Stakes.
Around the turn they come. Durbridge desperately ridden about a neck to the good of Triscay, now called on for the final effort. They've cleared away from Canny Lad and Big Dermot. Durbridge is finding plenty. Triscay can't peg him back. Durbridge too good for Triscay, and then Big Dermot, and Durbridge wins. Durbridge by 2 lengths to Triscay. Third place.
Following her defeat by the much improved Durbridge, there were some who thought that Triscay had failed to stay the 2,000-metre journey. This theory was to be proven wrong, as we'll see later in the programme. In the past few seasons, the rich autumn carnivals in Sydney have experienced some terrible weather. It was a different story this season, and the good weather produced some excellent racing.
About 500 metres out, and Be Happy is joined by Centro on the outside. St Jude is tucked away on the fence. Stradmore's had every hope, although he'll have to go 4 deep on the corner. At the head of the others, Pre-Record, followed well back by Cup Caper, and then Shot of Comfort and All Mine as they turn the corner. It's Be Happy, Centro and St Jude. Stradmore can't go on at the moment, followed by Lord Revenant. St Jude hit the front, 150 out, and the little horse shot clear. St Jude has raced away from Be Happy, followed by Centro and Stradmore, but it's all St Jude in the last bit. He's careering away and he wins the Guineas in a trot.
In winning his second Group 1 race, St Jude stamped himself as one of Australia's best 3-year-old colts. In the Rosehill Guineas, his opposition included Surface Paradise, a horse rated by some New Zealanders as the equal of Bone Crusher at the same age.
The 800 metres mark, and Surface Paradise is race clear, led by 2 lengths on Mountain Rule. In third place on the outside, Marine Drive. St Jude is bottled up on the fence, fourth, followed by Centro. Further back, King Rautai, and then Shot of Comfort. Stradmore flat to the boards. In behind those came Mobile Peter as they near the turn. A long way back is Lord Revenue with Secret Sam, followed by Count de Beers and Dodecanese as they turn for home in the Guineas. Surface Paradise first into the straight over Mountain Rule. There's a run between them for St Jude if he's good enough, and then Centro followed by Marine Drive and King Rautai as they come to the 200 where Surface Paradise is the leader. St Jude's coming at him now. St Jude has ranged up to Surface Paradise. They've come away from Centro. This New Zealander's got a great big heart. He won't give up. He's fighting back. He is all racehorse Surface Paradise. Oh, he's good. Surface Paradise has raced away again to beat St Jude. A magnificent Guineas win. Third is
Surface Paradise lived up to his reputation, running the last 600 metres of the Guineas in the sensational time of 33.6 seconds. The South Australian colt Durbridge showed that the reverse way of going wouldn't affect his Derby chances in winning the Tulloch Stakes.
Into the straight, Be Happy, tackled by Phantom's Hero, then Blazing Anchor. Durbridge is looking for room between horses. Dereco still there. He got squeezed out, Dereco. At the head of the others, Somalia to the 200 mark, and bursting through near the fence, Siegfried has hit the front. Siegfried has come from nowhere. He got to the lead, but here's Durbridge now. Durbridge, after being held up for a run, saw daylight. He put paid to Siegfried in one stride, and he's racing away to win it easily. He's too good, Durbridge. A great win in the Tulloch. Siegfried second, Bull
on the strength of his Rosehill Guineas win and the fact that he was proven over 2,400 metres, Surface Paradise started favourite in the Australian Jockey Club's $1.3 million Derby.
And Play On led over Marine Drive, and there goes Surface Paradise moving up towards the lead. Cool Reception 4 deep, Count de Beers is 5 wide. On the fence, Durbridge, who hasn't spent a cent so far. And then French Defence and Steineck, and further back is Seabit as they come around the turn, followed by Garter King. At the head of the others under plenty of pressure, Centro. So is Mountain Rule, followed by Shot of Comfort and Siegfried as they turn the corner. Heads a turn for home in the Derby. It's Play On, Marine Drive, Surface Paradise and Cool Reception on the extreme outside. Here's Durbridge now. Durbridge switches across the heels of those leaders and he's going after them as they come to the 200. Surface Paradise is gone. Cool Reception the leader. Durbridge trying to get to him. Mountain Rule is running on strongly. Cool Reception tackled by Durbridge. Mountain Rule can't get to them. Durbridge hit the front from Cool Reception. Mountain Rule trying his heart out on the outside, but it's Durbridge's Derby. Durbridge won the Derby from Cool Reception and Mountain Rule on the outside.
Durbridge is the first Group 1 winner for his sire Durham Ranger, an American-bred son of the Star Kingdom stallion No Home. For Adelaide trainer Brian Murphy, the Derby was his biggest career win.
We cross now to Perth for the West Australian Derby.
And Orange Seed, 400 out, and Star Alert has gone to the front. Star Alert first for home in the Derby. From Higginsville around the outside, Mirror Magic, followed by Railbreaker, then Stormtrooper, followed by Kinspoke, 200 to go. Higginsville got to the front from Mirror Magic, Stormtrooper and Railbreaker. Mirror Magic heads Higginsville. Stormtrooper flashing along the inside. Mirror Magic and Stormtrooper. Mirror Magic, Stormtrooper, Mirror Magic. Mirror Magic is short half end. Stormtrooper.
Mirror Magic ended a 27-year dominance by the Colts with her Derby win. Unraced as a 2-year-old, the filly is a first-crop daughter of the Bletchingley stallion, Lord Ballina.
The field for this year's South Australian Derby was one of the best seen for several years. 3-year-olds from 4 states contested the Group 1 Classic at Morfettville.
At the side, they race 700 to go in the Malaysia Airlines South Australian Derby, Dubai Desert, Shiva's Revenge. They go to the leader, Bright Colours, followed back in behind by All Mine, who's about to shake off the rail. Over on the outside, Big Dermot, and then came Sir Vendor, Cambridge Knight and London Bridge are wide. Then Home Show, followed by King's Design, Shorebreaker, Higginsville in the straight. Shiva's Revenge has reached the lead. Got a half length, Dubai Desert. All Mine is coming after it now. They were followed by Big Dermot and Sir Vendor, but it's Shiva's Revenge in front. Here comes the filly, All Mine. She's knuckling down. It's Shiva's Revenge from All Mine. All Mine comes at Shiva's Revenge. Shiva's Revenge drifting out under All Mine, but held by a length and a quarter. Third placing went to Brave Expect.
Coming off a win in the VRC St Leger, Shiva's Revenge gave Bart Cummings a record 10 wins in the South Australian Derby.
It's hard to imagine a racing season without a Group 1 winner being prepared by champion trainer TJ Smith. This year, TJ left his run to the last of the Group 1 Classics to do so.
Straightening up now, 450 metres to go. Triscay is in front as they head for home. Switching back to the inside, Dorset Downs coming after Triscay. Marine Drive into third place, and here comes Lee's Bid down the outside. She's coming after them, but Dorset Downs raced away at the 250. Dorset Downs got away. Lee's Bid now into second place, then Triscay. It's Dorset Downs leading the filly Lee's Bid by a length or so. 100 metres to go. Dorset Downs is in front. Start cheering, TJ. This is your 35th blue riband, and Dorset Downs has won the Derby. Dorset Downs first, Lee's Bid second, 6 lengths away third, Moods or Triscay, then Dr. Glass.
In winning the QTC Derby, Dorset Downs further increased Tommy Smith's world record for training Derby winners to 35. For Shane Dye, it was Group 1 winner number 6 for the season.
There were some great performances from the 3-year-olds in the classic races, open to both colts and fillies.
VOBIS, the Victorian Owners and Breeders Incentive Scheme. And that's exactly what it is. An incentive for owners to buy Victorian thoroughbreds. VOBIS means cash bonuses to owners, breeders, trainers and jockeys. VOBIS, keeping Victoria ahead of the rest.
Trainer Neville Begg had a good record in the fillies feature races before his departure to Hong Kong, where he is now training. His son Graham looks set to continue the family tradition.
Turn for home now, and Zoo Wander is about to be tackled by new acquaintance. Wished on the outside, looming up quickly, and then Red Emotion, and now Dittman lets the favourite go. Triscay, she's made ground quickly, but Wished has got a break at the 200 mark. He's got to pull the whip on Triscay. Triscay is coming after Wished. Wished is still in front. Triscay dying on a run. She can't pick up the leader, and Wished is going to score a very well-deserved win. She drew away to beat Triscay. Burberry a distant third. Let's hurry a
Wished
good run.
then ran in the first Group 1 race for the season for fillies, the Flight Stakes. Also in the race was the Jack Denham trained Triscay, last season's top 2-year-old filly, who had returned to racing with a win in the Silver Shadow Stakes.
Highlights led over Triscay into the straight, All Mine third, and then Burberry. Wished in between horses, running on pretty well, but under a lot of pressure, followed by Millie's Luck and Narration. On top of the rise now, and Triscay has dashed to the lead from Burberry on the outside. Wished in third place, is starting to warm up now. He's pulled the whip on Triscay. Burberry cutting it down quickly. His seasoning, and late on the scene is Narration. But Triscay, Dittman hard at work. She's fighting back. She's got a great big heart. And right on the line, Triscay was holding them safely to beat Burberry. Now,
Triscay and Wished continued their spring campaigns in the 1,000 guineas at Caulfield. After drawing a wide barrier, Triscay had worked hard to be with the leaders on the turn.
They sweep the corner, and Lycra and Triscay turn together. 3 lengths in front as they corner from Twiglet. Special Sculpture Burberry. West getting another move on near the inside. Triscay the inside, and Lycra in front, passing the 200-metre mark. Still 2 lengths to West and then Twiglet. Triscay the inside and Lycra. West coming at them. Triscay in front. West out wide. Flying home. They hit it, and West has got up to win it from Triscay and Lycra. New acquaintance.
Whisk took her sire's progeny earnings past $7 million and provided Gavin Duffy and Graham Begg with their only Group 1 success of the season.
The Sydney fillies followed the traditional path to the VRC Oaks by running in the Waitful Stakes. Triscay again drew a wide barrier, but started favourite ahead of Whisked.
At the 400-metre mark, All Mine led by 2 lengths to Sandhills out after it, and then came Mammy. Triscay was next, and there followed by Whisked over on the rail, starting to weave through. All Mine in front at the 200-metre mark from Sandhills, and then Whisked. Triscay, and down the outside is Beachside. All Mine in front, West End. Beachside is flying on the outside. All Mine 3/4. Beachside slowly but surely gets it. They hit the line together. Oh, very, very close between Beachside and All Mine.
Coming from near last, Beachside's win confirmed the opinion of her ability held by trainer David Hayes. 2 days prior to the Wakeful Stakes, Hayes paid a late entry fee of $10,000 to run in the VRC Oaks. Beachside's strong win in the Wakeful elevated her to second favourite behind Triscay in the $400,000 VRC Oaks. After drawing a favourable barrier, Triscay was given the run of the race by Mick Dittman.
They're in the straight at the 500, All Mine in front of Aroma on the outside. Now running into it is Cronies Hope and Triscay looking for the way clear on the rails. Whiskers trying to squeeze through, and wide out here's Weekend Delight staking her claim with a big finishing run at the 300-metre mark. Many chances where Weekend Delight wide out hit the front from Cronies Hope. Whiskers got the rails now. It's Weekend Delight in front of West and then Triscay. Weekend Delight by a length from West at the 100-metre mark. Weekend Delight 3/4 in front of West and Triscay. Weekend Delight wins the Oaks from West by a length and a quarter. Triscay is third, and then came Let's
Weekend Delight's trainer Bart Cummings had also paid the late entry fee into the Oaks after the filly had won the Geelong Oaks trial. Jim Cassidy has enjoyed tremendous success in the Oaks, having partnered 3 of the last 4 winners. Bred in New Zealand, Weekend Delight was a $28,000 purchase at the '89 Magic Million sale at Trentham.
Interstate fillies have dominated the Western Australian Oaks in recent times. However, it was a different story this year.
On the bend, Daughter's Charm joined by Reform Princess. A couple of lengths Catambra. Natasha right around the outside, and then Saviour around the turn at the 200. Reform Princess got the Daughter's Charm. Natasha down the outside. Daughter's Charm, Reform Princess are joined by Natasha. Daughter's Charm the leader. The local filly Natasha finishing better. Natasha raced up, got to the lead, and yes indeed it's a WA win. Natasha
following her Oaks win, the connections of Natasha started the filly in the BMW Australian Derby. If she could beat the Colts, she'd become the first filly to complete the Oaks Derby double.
On the bend and the Derby at the 300 and the Sydney Town Colt. Cheer for me first around the bend. Marvellous the outside, Higginsville the centre. Natasha getting clear, and then stick around, and Deadly Addiction at the 100. The filly Natasha went to the lead from Marvellous. Cheer for me right down the outside. Deadly Addiction, lots more spots in the centre, but the filly Natasha raced away and won the Derby. Natasha by a length.
Natasha's popular victory was a training triumph for Trevor Andrews in only his second season. Owned by the chairman of the West Australian Turf Club, Mr. Bob Peters, Natasha is a daughter of the Karoo Star Stallion, Old Spice.
We cross to New Zealand now for the 1,000 guineas at Riccarton.
300 metres out, and Plume has dashed through on the inside of Cool Rocker. They're at the distance. Here comes Auburn Blaze, and Morning Rises winding up, and Let's Score stretching out. But Plume with a handy lead, 100 metres to go, and running very erratically, Cool Rocker. But down towards the post, and Plume's won the guineas. Who's going to grab second? A tight photo. Morning Rise.
In winning the 1,000 guineas, Plume defeated the cream of New Zealand's fillies. Recording her 5th win from only 6 starts, the filly completed the Guineas double for her sire, Crested Wave.
Plume went on to start a warm favourite in the New Zealand Oaks, run at Trentham.
Up towards the turn they come in the Oaks, and Summer Glory, that's the one that's going to line them up for home. Summer Glory now from Soltento, there followed then by Brogue, then Plume and Let's Score, followed by On the Beach and further back Narration, followed then by Panzeran looking to get clear, but the favourite got to the front. Plume now fighting it hard, Soltento there followed by Brogue, further back Narration, Let's Score, and further back to Panzeran. It's Plume in front, Narration, Let's Score, and on the inside Soltento, Plume, Let's Score, and Narration down the outside, Let's Score getting to the front. Plume's got no answer. The rest, Let's Score's going to win, and Let's Score won the Oaks from Plume and Narration. They were followed by
Let's Score's strong staying performance denied Plume the Guineas Oaks double. A stablemate of the Phantom, the filly was ridden by Larry Cassidy in New Zealand's richest race for fillies.
The Australasian Oaks is the feature race of the South Australian Jockey Club Summer Carnival. This year the Oaks attracted a quality field, including the good filly from the West, Natasha.
The favourite Shavano Miss led them to the home turn by 2 lengths and is travelling sweetly. Second placing Shadows of Love to Salty. They're throwing everything at these. In behind them, Mannerism into the clear is starting to run on. She's 5 lengths off the leader. Into the strong headwind again down to the 250 metre mark. Shavano Mrs. Ryder took a peep across. 3 in front of Mannerism coming after now. In third placing Shadows of Love and then to Salty. Shavano Miss is getting tired. Mannerism might have her. Mannerism raced up to Shavano Miss. The crowd are going berserk. Mannerism's got her. Mannerism sweeps to the lead, and she just hasn't quite run the trip, Shavano Miss. Mannerism a length and a quarter, Shavano Miss. Third's tight. Give it to Sasoldi. Just
coming off a win in the Group 2 CUNY Stakes, Mannerism showed that she was a much improved filly with her win in the Australasian Oaks. It was the second Group 1 success of the season for the Lee Friedman-Damien Oliver combination.
The Orlando Classic run at Rose Hill is by far the most competitive national race for fillies and mares. VRC Oaks runner-up Whisk was looking for a second Group 1 success of the season at Rose Hill.
It's Domino, just the leader over Queen Zenobia coming around the corner. Ice Cream Sunday makes a line of 3. 4 deep as Wished and 5 deep as A Little Kiss. Ricochet Rosie had to go 10 wide on the turn. Into the straight now, and Queen Zenobia took over from Ice Cream Sunday. Wished is trying to get to them. Then Quicksilver Cindy, followed by Twiglet running on strongly. At the 200, Ice Cream Sunday just led Queen Zenobia. Wished is coming at them, followed by Quicksilver Cindy. Ice Cream Sunday tackled by Wished and Quicksilver. Quicksilver Cindy has burst through the split, and Quicksilver Cindy got up to win the Orlando. Now there are horses all over.
Quicksilver Cindy survived a protest to win the most important race of her career. By the 1972 Golden Slipper winner John's Hope, the 5-year-old mare is trained by Max Lees, who prepared the 77 Golden Slipper winner Luskin Star.
The Storm Queen Stakes attracted several AJC Oaks candidates, including Whisked, Mannerism and the New Zealand Oaks winner Let's Score. In the absence of her stablemate Triscay, the Jack Denham-trained All Mine carried the stable's hopes.
Into the stretch now, and Let's Hurry led. All Mine is after it quickly, getting through near the fence. Marinella, further out Mannerism, followed by Wished, but All Mine is the leader at the 200. Marinella getting the rails run. They're clear of Mannerism and Wished. All Mine joined by Marinella getting through on the fence. All Mine and Marinella. Marinella and All Mine are coming to the line, locked together. All Mine has done a big job to win after pulling ferociously in the run.
Although there was a query about her stamina, Triscay started favourite in the $450,000 AJC Oaks. The Fillies Classic was one of the highlights of the AJC's Autumn Carnival.
They come towards the 600 metres mark, and it's Rockets Galore, the leader. Going closer, Hollyport Lass. All Mine is on the fence, third, followed by Mannerism. 2 to Wished, and then Triscay, followed by Let's Hurry under pressure. So is Let's Gore. Marinella next, and Lee's Bid between horses turning the corner. Into the straight now, Rockets Galore, Hollyport Lass, Mannerism about to sweep up to them on the outside. All Mine on the fence behind them, and here comes Triscay. Triscay has loomed to them very quickly as they get to the top of the rise, where Mannerism is the leader. Dittman's got to pull out. All stops on the favourite Triscay. She's coming at Mannerism with 150 to go. Triscay and Mannerism, they're fighting it out. It's a tooth and nail struggle. Lee's Bid is rocketing down the outside. Triscay, Mannerism, Lee's Bid trying to get to them as they hit the line. Triscay, I think Triscay has just fallen in to win the Oaks from Lee's Bid. And
Triscay's third Group 1 success of the season epitomised the courage and class of Australasia's champion 3-year-old filly. The AJC Oaks victory took Triscay's career wins to 13 from just 20 starts, and her stake earnings to $1.74 million.
Soon after the AJC Oaks, runner-up Lee's Bid was purchased by Ian Bloodstock for $300,000. In search of Group 1 success and that important black type, trainer Vic Thompson sent the filly to Adelaide for the South Australian Oaks.
And then came Mirror Magic, Lee's Bid from last. Over on the inside of those as All Mine has been eased out of the race. Something's gone amiss with All Mine. She's been pulled up out of the race. As they turn at the 400 metre mark, Ina's Way kicked a couple in front. Second placing on the outside now, Volcanic, still there, Vasadania. Special Sculpture getting into the clear, and the Western Australian Mirror Magic joins in. Lee's Bid is bumping, trying to get a run, the little filly. They're across the track. The Western Australian Mirror Magic reached the lead. Brighton Dolly is trying to cut her down. Lee's Bid, this bonny little filly, is sprinting home like a gazelle. She'll bowl them. Lee's Bid, oh gee, she's tiny, but she's got a massive heart. She's won from Brighton Dolly, or on the inside Mirror Magic. They dashed away.
Lee's Bid is a daughter of Torfig, sire of the '89 Melbourne Cup winner Torrific. Lee's Bid was the only Group 1 success of the season for leading Sydney trainer Vic Thompson, and the first Oaks success for rider Shane Dye.
Lee's Bid was then taken north to Queensland for a rematch with Triscay, who was considered by some a bit lucky to have beaten Lee's Bid in the AJC Oaks. Here's what happened in the Queensland Oaks.
She's hit the front now, Triscay, but Lee's Bid is right there with her on the outside. Sterling Star behind them on the rails, and then Volcanic. Further back came Special Faith, and then Midwinter. Triscay's in front, 300 metres to go. The boys starting to get a little bit anxious. This is what we've been waiting for. Triscay got away from Lee's Bid. Triscay a length in front of Lee's Bid. Lee's Bid trying hard on the outside. Dittman's gone for it now, and I think she's going better, Triscay. Yes, she is. The big crowd starting to roar for her, and she's too good, Triscay. Triscay first, Lee's Bid second, Volcanic
Triscay's
third.
win in the Queensland Oaks confirmed her status as Australia's champion 3-year-old filly, and in winning her fourth Group 1 event of the season, earned the right to be rated right up there with fillies such as Surround and Rose of Kingston.
Anne said Australia's first-class seats are among the widest and most comfortable anywhere. And now you'll find them in business class. So now there will only be 2 seats abreast to give plenty of arm and leg room so you can work in comfort or just relax and enjoy the flight. And if you like the look of our business class, just wait until you see our new first class. If your business means flying, try Ansett Australia. We'll take better care of you.
Each new racing season brings with it a fresh crop of 2-year-olds and the possibility of a new rising star. Run on Derby Day at Flemington, the Maribyrnong Plate is traditionally a good guide to a young horse's future.
Coming up towards the 500-metre mark, Spectacular is wider out and Did He Do It deeper still. Roxy Dancer just behind them with Found Gold, and then Pampas Fire, who's strung up for a run at the moment. Further back is Cloud Captain as they come down near the 300, and Lady Purpose wider out, staking a claim at the 300-metre mark now, and Razor Rhythm had put her head in front, and Clark calls on her and she answers and gets about a length in front now. Lady Purpose finishing fairly well, Noble Lancer battling back, and then Pampas Fire and Did He Do It, but Razor Rhythm is doing it comfortably, and Razor Rhythm will score by 2 lengths to Lady Purpose. Pampas Fire's run third.
The Karrakatta Plate is the first Group 1 race for the season for the 2-year-olds. By the end of the season, the winner of Western Australia's premier juvenile event had raced in 4 states, winning in 3 of them.
Around the bend, Business Beat set sail for home for Detman. Down the outside comes Amatilla, Backpack, Moochecker's gone, and then Camborne Tem, 100 to go. Business Beat joined by Amatilla. Down the outside, Contigi Lass, the leader Amatilla. Contigi Lass getting to him. Amatilla, Contigi Lass by G.
Umatilla was undoubtedly one of the busiest 2-year-olds of the season, and his Group 1 success was well deserved. A son of the Mr. Prospector stallion Iswaki, Umatilla's win got the Tommy Hughes Greg Childs Association off to a flying start. Umatilla was an $18,000 purchase at the Dalgety Premier Sales.
The David Hayes trained filly Razor Rhythm returned to racing with the Blue Diamond Stakes as her target.
The turn, 450 metres left to go, and a mare being tackled for the lead by Razor Rhythm in the centre. Over on the outside is Take the Road as they make the turn, and very deep on the track is Tilgaza misses. They straighten up with about 300 metres to go. A mare on the inside, Razor Rhythm the centre. They're clear now from Perfect Draw. Down the outside is Take the Road, followed by Angel's Wings, but Razor Rhythm has skipped away, coming down past the 200 is well clear now. Perfect Draw running on. In third place, Angel's Wings and Take the Road, but Razor Rhythm back to her best will bolt in. She's won by 4 lengths to Perfect Draw.
In the Colts division of the Blue Diamond Prelude on the same day, trainer Lee Friedman produced a very smart colt.
Up towards the home turn they race now. It's Loretto on the outside, tackled for the leader by Noble Lancer. Over on the inside behind them, Chief Headhunter, followed by Celerida. A group decision desperately needs a run as they straighten up, and they're fanned across the track coming into the straight. Chief Headhunter on the inside, Noble Lancer. Group decision now getting into the clear is running on fairly well, and wider on the track is Celerida coming down inside the final 200 metres, and Chief Headhunter is the leader. About a length clear of Noble Lancer, followed by Group Decision and Sentimental Ruler from a long way back, but Chief Headhunter will bolt in. Chief Headhunter raced away to win it very easily, getting up for second, probably Group Decision from...
Razor Rhythm started a warm favourite in the Blue Diamond Stakes, but lost her chance of winning when the gates opened for the $500,000 race.
Racing. And the Chief Headhunter began quickly with Irises, and Razor Rhythm seemed to be slow. She's last settling into stride, the favourite. Through the first 100 metres now. Sleep Time Girl drove up on the outside, and Noble Lancer, and they're the 2 leaders from Lady Purpose up third. Then Canonise, and getting up on the inside, Chief Headhunter, followed by Irises. Umatilla over on the outside, and then Razor Rhythm. She was followed by Did He Do It, My Wanderer Star, Sentimental Ruler, and 6 lengths Western Cadence. Down the side they race now. Canonise trying to drive up on the inside and join Noble Lancer at the 600. Oh, once come down, Did He Do It has fallen. Did He Do It and Lady Purpose got into trouble, has lost the rider. They come to the turn now. Canonise the inside and Noble Lancer. Irises and Chief Headhunter just behind them. Round the outside, Umatilla. Then Razor Rhythm when they set sail for home. Canonise into the straight, just the leader from Noble Lancer. Down the outside, Umatilla is coming with her run with Irises. Chief Headhunter squeezing through now. It's Umatilla the outside going up with Chief Headhunter. Canonise fighting back. Canonise fighting back on the rails. Canonise in front of Umatilla. Canonise wins it. Canonise 3/4 Umatilla. Chief Headhunter.
Wearing blinkers for the first time, Canonise scored a determined win in the Blue Diamond. At his previous start, the son of South Australian-based sire Don't Say Halo had won the XL Adelaide Million for owner Robert Sangster.
Trying for his second Group 1 of the season, Blue Diamond runner-up Umatilla contested the Vobis VRC Sires Produce Stakes.
600 left to go, and Not Related will straighten up in the size, about a length clear from Group Decision, who's had a good run. Umatilla, Whirlpool Salute, he's out, and they're followed then by Shushtar nearer the rails. Did he do it looking for the way clear? And further out on the track is Starlust coming with its run. Lady Purpose still last at the 400 and past it. Not Related 2 lengths in front. Group Decision's under the whip. Did he do it angling for the rails run? And then Umatilla wider out. 250 metres to go, and Not Related still clear. Still 2 lengths in front of Did he do it? Umatilla in Group Decision. Not Related in front, a length and a half. Did he do it? Trying very hard, but Not Related's going strongly enough. And Not Related all the way in the size, wins it by 3/4. Did he do it? 3 lengths
Not
away.
Related's win was a tremendous boost for promising Adelaide trainer David Belfer. The filly was purchased for $4,250 at the Abcos yearling sale.
As a fully qualified Vobis runner, Not Related collected a handsome bonus of $40,000 from the sponsors of the Sires Produce Stakes. Now it's up to Sydney, where the Magic Millions winner Bold Promise was trying to qualify for the Golden Slipper.
Marskin is the leader, but V&A and Bold Promise are about to pounce. Bold Promise looks to be travelling a lot better than V&A at the moment. Coming to the 200 mark, V&A, Bold Promise on the outside. Dye's got a shaker up now. V&A wants to hang in a bit under pressure, and Bold Promise gets the upper hand and is starting to draw clear in the last bit. V&A sticking on gamely, but Dye's giving this filly a very easy run to the line, and she wins by a length to V&A.
Shane Dye, who stood in for the injured Mick Dittman on Bold Promise, had an even easier ride in the Todman Slipper Stakes.
Terse on the outside about to move to second, and then Delphinus and Guest in time. Dye had a look to the right, a look to the left as Terse cruises up to them, and Terse shot to the lead coming to the 200 mark, quickly put 2 lengths on Jim's Bet getting to second, and then Delphinus followed by Rory's Impulse and John Pilo. But here comes Terse, one of the top Golden Slipper candidates, and he's going to make hacks of the opposition in the Todman. He won pulling up by 7 lengths on the line.
The undefeated filly Bold Promise started an odds-on favourite in the $2 million Tui's Golden Slipper Stakes, the world's richest race for 2-year-olds. Mick Dittman was aboard the filly, prepared by rookie trainer Sterling Smith.
A couple of the riders not happy, but they're off in the slipper. Bold Promise missed the kick. Bold Promise is a clear last out of the starting gate. Saumani began brilliantly, and so did Cloudlet, V&A and Chief Headhunter going very fast soon after the start. Big Dreams has bounded away into a beautiful spot, and then Razor Rhythm and Canonizers trapped out deep, followed by Terse, Jester Royale. Bold Promise improving quickly along the fence, and then Umatilla followed by Did He Do It. Pippi War second last, and tailed off is Chardet. V&A went to the lead through the gap onto the course proper by a little more than a length to Saumani on the outside of Cloudlet, and then Razor Rhythm, Big Dreams, and right off the track Canonise, followed by Terse, who's hard ridden. At the head of the others, Chief Headhunter, Jester Royale can't get on the track. Bold Promise midfield on the fence, and she'll need luck to get through that bunch of horses. Further back is Umatilla, followed by Did He Do It, but heads a turn for home in the slipper, and V&A is clear. V&A by more than a length to Cloudlet, followed by Canonise, and then Razor Rhythm. Terse starting to wind up. At the head of the others, Big Dreams, and Bold Promise not doing enough. V&A still in front, Canonise and Terse. Big Dreams can't reach them. V&A tackled by Terse and Canonise. It's another one for Shane Dye. Terse wins the slipper. Terse beat Canonise. Third, Big Dreams. Fourth, V&A.
Both Terse and Shane Dye showed their tremendous will to win over the concluding stages of the Golden Slipper. It was Dye's third successive victory in the event, and the biggest career win for Warwick Farm trainer Clary Connors. However, celebrations temporarily turned sour as Terse returned a positive swab and an inquiry was opened.
Leading up to the Golden Slipper, Clary Connors had been treating a cut on the inside of his colt's mouth with a mouthwash prescribed by his veterinarian. It was determined that the mouthwash contained traces of a local anaesthetic called lignocaine, a banned substance under the Australian rules of racing. At the inquiry, AJC stewards acknowledged that the prohibited substance was of only relatively minor significance and allowed Terse to remain the winner of the Golden Slipper. They did, however, fine Connors $10,000. Terse had his next start in the second leg of the Triple Crown, the Sires Produce Stakes.
Into the straight, Liquid Ruler, clear-cut leader over Canonise, holding Regina Madre in a pocket. Terce has now shouldered his way into the clear and he's rushed up quickly, and Canonise and Terce have exploded to the lead together on top of the rise, with Terce going to the front. Terce hit the lead at the 200 mark. He quickly drew clear of Canonise. The filly Chardet running on with Electrique down the outside, but the slipper winner Terce is going to win the second leg of the Grand Slam in great style. Terce is sprinting away and wins easily over Chardet. Electrique third and Canonise.
Tierce outclassed his opposition in the sires for a comfortable win. However, more drama was to follow as the colt returned another positive swab to Lignocaine. At the subsequent inquiry, stewards again allowed the result to stand. On this occasion, they fined Connors $5,000.
Not since the great Luskin Star in 1977 had a 2-year-old won the Triple Crown. Let's go to Randwick now for the Champagne Stakes.
Coming over the rise now, Musical Chairs in front. Di took a peep over the shoulder on Terce. He's got the leader covered, and now Terce explodes to the front. Terce has dashed away on top of the rise, quickly put 3 lengths on High Precious, followed by Kinjate, and then Chardet and Big Dreams, but it's shades of Luskin Star. Go Terce. Terce 100 out is well clear. Running on doggedly now, Chardet in the last bit, followed by High Precious, but Terce completes the Grand Slam. He wins the Champagne brilliantly over Chardet. High Precious third.
Tierce is undoubtedly a top-class colt with an exciting future. With 8 wins from 10 starts, he accumulated stake earnings of $1.94 million to become Australasia's highest ever juvenile stakes earner. Passed in at the Inglis Easter yearling sale at $18,000, Tierce is owned by his breeder Richard Turnley, who stands his sire Victory Prince at Boscobel Stud in New South Wales.
Tierce has the pedigree that suggests he could train on to win a derby. He's indeed an exciting prospect. Let's cross to New Zealand now for the running of the Group 1 Manawatu Sires Produce Stakes at Awapuni.
They're homeward bound and running John and Go Gomez. Rua Rakuna's getting out and coming quickly, followed by Grand Jetty, and further back then to Trafficking, and wider out Koenig's coming into it. Running John, Go Gomez, Rua Rakuna and Koenig, and Late for Breakfast and Grand Jetty. They're right across the track, and Koenig down the outsides coming with a winning run. Koenig got up to win the stakes from Rua Rakuna. There was
the fast-finishing Koenig was an impressive winner of the Manawatu Sires Produce. The chestnut is a son of Truly Vain, one of New Zealand's most promising young stallions.
Now to Ellerslie for Auckland Racing Club's Sires Produce.
On the storm, 400 metres to go in the Sires, and it's Prince of Praise has slipped away, 2.5 now. Here's Running John, and down the outside, Rua Rakuna starting to come into it strongly now. 250 metres to go. Prince of Praise still the pacemaker. Rua Rakuna still 2 lengths away. Prince of Praise hard to catch now. Running John and Rua Rakuna, and on the inside, Diamond Rouge late, but Prince of Praise has got them beaten. Races right away. Prince of Praise won it easily. Second, Diamond Rouge. Running John third.
Prince of Praise is a son of the Habitat stallion Crossways. A winner of 5 races, Prince of Praise is being aimed at the rich Australian 3-year-old races in the spring. The final 2 Group 1 events for the juveniles are run in Queensland. First up is the Queensland Turf Club's Sires Produce Stakes.
In the straight now, 450 metres to go. Banya Boy, a clear-cut leader. He got away. He's 2 in front of Chortle. Prince of Mascot on the outside. Then Faustiesta. Lady Nicolai is running on. Yodel's hooked to the extreme outside. And then Natchez in the middle. Banya Boy tackled by Chortle. 200 metres out. Chortle moved up to Banya Boy. Poked his nose in front. Lady Nicolai is chasing them now. Banya Boy, Chortle, Lady Nicolai, then Yodel's. Chortle's just in front of Lady Nicolai. It's going to be close. It's going to be a beauty. They hit it. Chortle's won it.
Chortle's narrow win provided leading Brisbane trainer Bruce McLaughlin with his first hometown Group 1 success, and the 3rd of the season for jockey Brian York. Chortle is the first Group 1 winner sired by 85 Golden Slipper winner Rory's Jester.
In recent times, jockey Shane Dyers emerged as one of the best big race riders in the country. His strength in a tight finish is just one of the reasons for his success in Group 1 events. His ride in the Castlemaine Stakes was a fine example of his tenacious will to win.
Pulled to the outside is Kinjate. He's running on. Zinder's coming into it. Good and fast Nazara Gray switching back to the inside. Then Natchez and Lady Nicolai. They've got 300 metres to go. Banya Boy joined by Kinjate on the outside. Zinder's coming at Kinjate. Die starting to wind up. Zinders on the outside, moved up to join Kinjite, and they're going stride for stride, Zinders and Kinjite. They're going to have a great battle in the run to the line. Zinders just in front of Kinjite. They're clear of Natchez. Zinders just in front, and then Zinders beat Kinjite.
Starting at 50 to 1, Zinders responded gamely to Shane Dye's hard riding to win the Castlemaine. The son of Zephyr Zip is prepared at Randwick by Bobby Thompson.
On this edition of the Australasian Racing Year, we have a special segment that I'm sure you'll enjoy.
When Better Loosen Up defeated a field of class racehorses from around the world in the 1990 Japan Cup, his victory was acclaimed as Australian racing's most significant international success since 1932, when Farlap won at Agua Caliente. In time, this win may prove to be the pinnacle of Better Loosen Up's career. Sadly, just 4 months after the Japan Cup, the champion was injured while on the threshold of becoming one of the true legends of the Australian turf. Now, only time and nature can determine whether this national hero can recover and return to the racetrack. In 1990, this rather plain-looking mare was voted Australia's Broodmare of the Year. Her name is Better Fantasy, and she's better known as the dam of Better Loosen Up. Now a sprightly 16-year-old, Better Fantasy was the last filly foal sired by the champion stallion Better Boy. That in itself is a claim to fame. Her breeders, Jan and Howard Martin of Berrigan, New South Wales, regard their horses as an extension of their family. Les Theodore is an astute trainer, a man with an eye for a good horse. Several years ago, he selected, trained and part-owned Campaign King, who won 7 Group 1 races. Unfortunately for Theodore, he'd sold his share in the horse before those wins. They say lightning never strikes the same place twice.
My association started with Better Loosen Up when I was working for my father-in-law, Bert Honeychurch. He trained the mother, and I really got it when I started training. I got into the bloodline of that mare. First horse was a horse called Galway Dream that I had, which was Better Loosen Up's older half-brother. And he was quite a handy 2-year-old. And I just more or less went out to the paddock to follow on from the same family as him. And I liked the colt. He was a little bit small, and I bought him in the paddock. I bought him with a mate of mine originally, Dennis Phillips. We paid $10,000 for him in the paddock, and then at a later date at a barbecue, we let the Martins a quarter share and my cousin a quarter share. So that's how the original syndicate was formed.
The first of several changes to this original syndicate of owners occurred just a few days before Better Loosen Up was due to run first up from a spell. Albury businessman Gabe Farrer, a long-time friend of breeder Howard Martin, recalls the circumstances.
Les Theodore rang me from Bendigo. He'd moved to Bendigo and told me he had a fairly handy horse there, and he's interested in me joining the partnership because we had good association before, and Howard Martin, who owned a share in it, was too far removed from the scene from Berrigan, didn't want horses racing down there, and there were 3 horses involved at the time. And so Les approached me to buy Howard out and take over his interests. So I rang Howard and Jan to see if they approved of the idea, and they were very, very happy with it because they knew the horse would be well looked after in our care and that. So we went ahead and we purchased their share of Better Loosen Up, plus the brother Galloway Dream and another mare. And
in Les Theodore's opinion, his plain-looking youngster could win, and he advised his owners to have a bet. And one of them, Gabe Farrer, was more than happy with the result.
Well, someone backed him. He came in from about 7s to 5 to 2 odd, and he collected the money, and we virtually covered our expenses that day, so he was quite good to us then and still has been right through.
They say winners are grinners, but there is always an exception.
they backed him fairly heavily that day, and which, through a misunderstanding, my cousin rang me from Sydney, and I told him to have something each way on it, which he did. But when he read the papers that there was a plunge board off, he got the wrong idea that he'd been left out, which wasn't true, so he decided to sell out of the horse, and he advertised his share for sale.
That particular syndicate member did sell his share, but not until a later date. However, based on Theodore's assessment that Better Loosen Up was a young horse with potential, the decision was made to send the 3-year-old to Sydney to be trained.
Well, Les had a fair bit of success with Bart taking over Campaign King and promoting him, and we decided that Les decided the horse, you know, had a fair bit of ability. Les picked it up very early that he thought he had a very handy horse. And he'd had a couple of runs for Les on a heavy track and failed. And Les was fairly committed at the time and felt as though it would be in the horse's interest to go to Bart Cummings, so I arranged for the horse to go up to Bart, and then Bart took him from his first win in a graduation on a Wednesday meeting to running second to Riverina Charm in the Canterbury Guineas, which was a colossal performance, really.
Better Loosen Up, the leader. Riverina Charm is picking him up quickly. Riverina Charm is coming at the leader. Better Loosen Up. Riverina Charm hit the leader. Treble for Nebo Lodge, and a great ride by Quinton. Riverina Charm beat Better Loosen Up with Shelley a third. And then
Better Loosen Up second to Riverina Charm was an indication that he was improving with age. Following his Sydney campaign with Bart Cummings, Better Loosen Up was reunited with Les Theodore in Adelaide. The plan was to run in the South Australian Derby. However, after one run, plans were changed.
He always was a little bit proppy, and we gave him one run at Morfordville in a 1,000-metre race, and he ran home quite well, but at the time my apprentice rode him, Teresa Mills, and she said that he didn't always felt as if though there was something there, so we had him checked over, and Luke got his vet. We got 3 vets actually, and he'd had a hairline fracture of the pelvis. So that's, you know, and he'd had it for quite a long time. So the vets said, so they recommended 6 months in the paddock.
This disappointing news may have influenced Theodore's decision to turn his back on the training game. Colin Hayes was approached and agreed to train the promising 3-year-old.
Les decided he wanted to move to Coffs Harbour and buy a business, and probably just the training would be a secondary situation for him, so he decided he'd like to sell out his share in Better Loosen Up, and I was leaving for a couple of months' holidays just a couple of days before he rang and asked me if I could arrange for someone to take over his interest in Better Loosen Up, which we did, and I had Colin inspect the horse because the horse was in Adelaide at the time, and we decided it'd be in the interest of the horse and everything to stay with Colin at that point.
Now, with a new and settled syndicate of owners, Theodore delivered the horse to Lindsay Park, where he completed his spell. Theodore must have had a sense of deja vu.
When I dropped him up at Lindsay Park, one of the managers came out with me, and I said to him, you want to look after this horse? I said, he's a champion. And he laughed at me at that stage, but I suppose now he'd have to agree.
Better Loosen Up's long spell proved to be a blessing in disguise and a turning point in his career. He developed into a robust 4-year-old, but on his return to training, gave no real indication of his potential.
He was a horse that was very relaxed and lazy on the track, and his first run he ran second in the 1400 at Caulfield. We had the stablemate Heavenly View beat him that day, and my brother rode him that time, and he felt that he was probably a shade unlucky not to have won the race, and that was the first signs of we had of the horse and his first run for us. And he was a horse that was hard to gauge because he was very lazy and relaxed on the track, and he put his best foot forward on the race day.
Having his second start for the Hayes stable, Better Loosen Up revealed a glimpse of the future.
And further back is Better Loosen Up. Our Kroner at the 300 got level with Fendleton, put its nose in front. Boardwalk Angel a length and a half back. Glenview Royal Creation trying to reach the leaders. Better Loosen Up with a late run, but it's Our Kroner in front, 100 out. Here's Better Loosen Up, and Swift's in from last. Our Kroner in front. Better Loosen Up nearly level as they go to the line. A bobbing finish. Better Loosen Up, I think, may have wanted a nose, Our Kroner.
And then we took him to Perth, and it was probably one of his best wins in the railway. It was an amazing run.
Before the runway, Better Loosen Up won his second Group 1 race in the Winfield Stakes.
Here comes Better Loosen Up after him on the outside. Hardack led. Better Loosen Up has levelled up. They're followed now by on the outside K-Start and Timeless Action. Better Loosen Up has taken the lead and Better Loosen Up has got it won.
When he won the railway, it was just a sensational performance because he got interfered with badly about the 600 metre mark, and for him to overcome that and then go wide on the bend, and his performance there was outstanding, and that really showed the signs of him being a high quality horse.
Better Loosen Up down the outside, 100 to go. Carrier Smile from Jules Brood. Here comes Better Loosen Up on the outside. Better Loosen Up went to Jules Brood. Marwong got an inside run, but Better Loosen Up has won ahead. Marwong has come from last along the rails. 30
Better Loosen Up's doubleheader in Perth signalled his arrival in the big league. He returned in the autumn to face what was at the time the toughest test of his career.
Left to go. Better Loosen Up is flying home down the outside, but Superimpose looks to have it won. Better Loosen Up is flying. Better Loosen Up coming up. Superimpose. Better Loosen Up in the last stride.
Better Loosen Up passed with flying colours. The return clash with Vogue and Superimpose came in the Australian Cup.
Vogue with 100 to go by a length. He's holding them at bay. The Rogue will win his second in a row. Vogue wins at a length. Better Loosen Up.
Vogue at that stage was the best, and ours was making ground rapidly on him at the finish, and it was certainly no disgrace being beaten that day by Vogue, but then from then on we were just almost invincible.
And when he went to Sydney for the Sedgenho, we were sort of quietly confident that he could produce his best there.
Horlicks flat to the boards in front at the 200. Dr. Grace and Sedestin are challenging, and Better Loosen Up on the extreme outside. Sedestin and Better Loosen Up have come away. They're fighting it out. Better Loosen Up on the extreme outside is drawing clear, and Better Loosen Up wins the Sedgenho.
He ran extremely well even after the Sedgenho, but didn't handle extremely heavy tracks. Ran well in them, but didn't quite handle them. And so then we rested him, and David thought that it would be the Japan Cup would be his race, and so the Cox Plate and Japan Cup, so he took over the training then.
Better Loosen Up went for a well-earned spell with 4 Group 1 victories to his credit, and the promise of more to come. However, when Better Loosen Up returned to training, his young trainer had a few minor worries.
Better Loosen Up is a very plain horse, and actually didn't winter that well. He always looked right through the spring, even though going into his first race, which he was beaten, was on a heavy track, and he had a bit of tying up through that, had a bit of acetoria, and just kept the condition and bloom off the horse, and really raced, I think, just even though he was winning, he was racing a little bit below par.
For a horse below his best, Better Loosen Up turned in a great performance in the Feehan Stakes. Giving the leaders a big start, he accelerated quickly to join them on the turn.
Loosen Up, cutting loose and coming with a great run around them from Sour Sacrosanct and then Universal Ambition, and the Phantom held up on the inside. They're homeward bound, and now Westminster claims Stylish Century. Better Loosen Up pounding into the picture. Arc Regal off the rail but still held up, and then the Phantom running on halfway down the straight. Better Loosen Up challenges our Westminster and Stylish Century, with the Phantom driving through. Better Loosen Up and Stylish Century, and I think Better Loosen Up's just won it from Stylish Century.
It was a similar story in the Turnbull Stakes at Flemington.
Balancing for home, and Savage Toss first into the straight. The run there for Sir Midas if good enough. As Savage Toss left the fence, they were followed by Royal Creation coming through on the inside. Stargazer and Mr. Brooker. Here's Shazora staking her claim, and Better Loosen Up on the outside. But Royal Creation led at the 300. Here's Shazora coming out after Royal Creation, and Better Loosen Up is starting to hit top gear. Shazora got to Royal Creation with Better Loosen Up challenging on the outside. Better Loosen Up, Shazora, Royal Creation. 3 across the track. Better Loosen Up getting to Royal Creation. They go to the line, a bobbing finish. Better Loosen Up. Better Loosen Up has got up to beat Royal Creation in the last stride or two.
By now, racegoers were accustomed to Better Loosen Up's habit of winning by a narrow margin. As part of his Cox Plate preparation, Better Loosen Up returned to Lindsay Park between each race, and for a good reason.
He was my jewel in the crown in the stable, and I really couldn't afford much to go wrong with him, and I was just trying to lessen the risk of injury. Yes, and I spend most of my time there, and he's a hard horse to walk past in the stable, and I just enjoy having him around me.
Better Loosen Up's courage and will to win has never been questioned, But for this equine version of Jeff Fennick, his moment of truth came in the heavyweight championship of racing, the Cox Plate. Unlike some, he displayed no visible signs of nervousness.
Oh yes, I hadn't won a Group 1 race at that stage, and had some luck in weight for age races, but you know, Group 1 for a young trainer meant a lot, and especially the Cox Plate. I don't normally get nervous, but I did before that race.
When you come to a race like the Cox Plate, if there was only a 2-horse race, you'd still feel exactly the same. It's such a big thing in a person's life to sort of have a Cox Plate runner, let alone a horse like him that had every chance of winning.
Ready to race in the championship, and they're off. Shazora a bit slow to jump. Canny Lad out fast with Stylish Century. Citizen drops in behind. St Jude out deeper with Horlicks on the outside, and King's High is in the firing line. Stylish Century is a narrow leader going by the winning post the first time. Horlicks up in second placing, being followed by King's High and St Jude. Canny Lad, Lord Revener, Citizen, Integra, Shazora, Better Loosen Up, and the Phantom. 1600 to go, and Moses lets Stylish Century slide along, and he quickly puts a gap in them. Going to the 1400, Stylish Century at a cracking pace, leads 7 lengths over King's High on the inside of Horlicks, who made sure he wasn't too far back, O'Sullivan. Canny Lad third on the fourth on the inside. St Jude is next, being followed by Citizen. Stylish Century's gone further ahead. Lord Revener's over on the outside from Integra, and then Shazora. Better Loosen Up is giving Stylish Century 25 length start at the halfway point, and the Phantom is last of all. Going to the 800, and Stylish Century has set a cracking pace. He's 12 lengths in front over King's High. 4 to Horlicks, who's on the inside of St Jude, edging to third now. Horlicks is being pushed up. Canny Lad is next. 2.5 lengths Citizen about to come off the fence from Lord Revener. 2 lengths to Better Loosen Up, hard ridden by Michael Clark. Then the Phantom, Integra, and last of all, as they come up the side, is Shazora, and they've set a cracking pace, and a record is inside. Stylish Century's coming back to the field. Inside the 400, Stylish Century by 2 lengths over the 3-year-olds, St Jude and Canny Lad. Citizen closing on them. A gap Better Loosen Up. Horlicks beaten, and then the Phantom, Lord Revener. Stylish Century's beaten on the turn. Canny Lad takes the lead from St Jude. Citizen and Better Loosen Up coming at them. It's Canny Lad, Citizen, Better Loosen Up from St Jude. It's now Better Loosen Up and Citizen. Better Loosen Up goes home best. David Hayes first up wins it. Better Loosen Up has beaten Citizen. Third Canny Lad, followed by Stylish Century. Then the Phantom.
Better Loosen Up's victory was simply amazing, and so was his winning time. In the Race of Champions, he lowered Rubiton's track record by 1.4 seconds. The Cox Plate had created another legend, and didn't the crowd love it? There was one person, though, that had a different feeling about the win.
Total relief, and I felt for the horse because I thought he'd had a very hard run, but he pulled up from that race probably better than any run that preparation, so he really was an iron horse as well as a great horse.
A week later at Flemington, Australia's Japan Cup representatives contested the Group 1 McKinnon Stakes before heading overseas.
Stylish Century in front at the 300. 2 lengths to Better Loosen Up, given full bore, and then Dual Treasures, Mr. Brooker. Kessom on the outside at Stylish Century. Better Loosen Up a half length behind him. Clark has pulled the whip, and Better Loosen Up and Stylish Century fight it out nose and nose. Better Loosen Up goes home the better, and Better Loosen Up has beaten Stylish Century by a long neck.
Understandably, Better Loosen Up's connections were optimistic about bringing the Japan Cup back to Australia. In the days leading up to the Cup, a relaxed Better Loosen Up took everything in his stride.
He arrived in Japan, and I think it's one of the reasons he won. The travelling it didn't worry him in the slightest, and he settled straight into his routine in Japan, and is such a placid horse. So he didn't really give us one worry while we were in Japan, and apart from one track gallop where it was Breakfast of the Stars and they have about 15,000 there, and he ran the worst last 600 of the morning, and I was trying to explain to the Japanese that he always does that, but I think a lot of people didn't quite believe me because he's such a plain horse as well and working so badly. But on the final gallop, Michael rode him, and he only worked in hand, but he looked pretty right to us.
the breakaway wasn't a clean one. One of the first out here. Towards the centre was the Sashi George. He landed in front, was Stylish Sentry away quickly. Karkawipi's behind them, and further out on the track here was Petit Deal as they go down to the winning post, and there's no pace. Stylish Sentry getting up on the inside now of Asashi George, and they're together from Petit Deal, Karkawipi's, and further back Whitestone has got to the rail. Better Loosen Up has got about 4 behind him going out of the straights. Well back was Better Loosen Up when they turned for home, but the leader away from the rail here was Asashi George in the straight from Stylish Sentry. Coming up the mount rider on the track is Petit Deal. Karkawipi's in the middle, gets a run, and Better Loosen Up is getting out with Belmez down the outside. Karkawipi's has broken loose at the 200-metre mark, 2 lengths in front. Better Loosen Up going after him, but running in and further out of the track with a great run is Ode. Ode is after Karkawipi's. Better Loosen Up in the middle is coming with a magnificent run. Karkawipi's Better Loosen Up and Ode. Better Loosen Up in the middle is putting it in front. Better Loosen Up has won for Australia. Better Loosen Up has won the Japan Cup from either Ode or Karkawipi.
Melbourne-based race caller Brian Martin summed the race up perfectly. Better Loosen Up had won for Australia.
Oh, sensational. I lost my voice, but, you know, I kept having to pinch myself, and, I wouldn't know what it's like to win the Olympics, but I think that in horse racing, that'd be the closest thing to winning a gold medal in the Olympics.
In the time between the Japan Cup and the beginning of his autumn campaign, Better Loosen Up went from strength to strength.
The person in quarantine that was looking after him in Australia said that he's the only horse he's known to really put weight on in quarantine, and the quarantine station, they did a terrific job, but it's not exactly horses heaven in there, and he thrived, and going into the Blamey, I would say definitely improved.
At the 300 now, and Small's gone for the whip. It's Vogue about 6 lengths in front of Better Loosen Up, giving chase, and then Kingston Rule. 200 left to go. Vogue's 3. Better Loosen Up is trying very hard, and he's inch by inch coming at Vogue. Vogue by 3/4 with 100 to go. Better Loosen Up's level. Better Loosen Up takes the lead and wins it by a neck to Vogue. What a race.
The champ was back bigger and better. However, there were a few worries for David Hayes leading up to the Australian Cup.
We were all a little bit nervous because he'd had a setback between runs with a cracked hoof, and he didn't have a saddle on his back for 5 days, and got second up in the 2000 is hard enough with a setback, and so I had the condition worry, and once again racing that little bit fresher than what he had, and he'd done so well, he raced that little bit closer. Well, he settled back but was in command of the race from the half mile, and my concern was don't go too soon, Mick.
And it's Vogue first into the straight. Better Loosen Up, poised for his run at the 500-metre mark. Clark had a look around. 2 lengths, Prince Salieri third. Then Citizen below the 400. Vogue in front, 3/4. Better Loosen Up cantering on the outside. Then Prince Salieri, but Better Loosen Up gave Vogue the go by. The champion straight away. 3 lengths in front, passing the 200 from Vogue and Prince Salieri. This is a champion. Better Loosen Up going 5 lengths in front of Vogue and Prince Salieri. Better Loosen Up, hail the new champ. 6 lengths. Vogue second,
At last,
Prince Salieri.
Better Loosen Up had delivered his knockout punch. It was as if he'd decided to show the world just how brilliant he could be. The people at Flemington knew they'd witnessed something very special. With his career earnings standing at nearly $5 million, Better Loosen Up headed to Sydney for the $1 million BMW. His clash with the outstanding Superimpose was billed as the race of the season. Then, fate delivered a cruel blow.
He just stumbled and bowed that tendon, and I was most concerned, and as you can imagine, when Better Loosen Up was working in Sydney, there was a lot of press, so we rushed him off in the dark very quickly and got him home, and trying to not make too much of a scene, but by the time I'd got in from the centre, it was quite obvious he'd bowed his tendon, and the scan confirmed that, and it was probably the worst day in my short training career's life anyway.
And so the champion's career had come to what might be the end of the road. Those closely associated with Better Loosen Up believed that his best racing days were ahead of him. An awesome thought when you consider his outstanding achievements to date. Michael Clark, who rode the race of his life in the Japan Cup, is optimistic about the future of the horse.
We're just hoping with time and rest that the horse can come back, because he really is just an outstanding racehorse, and he's possibly was the best I've seen for a long time, and certainly the best horse I've ever been on.
In years to come, David Hayes will look back on his first year of training with mixed emotions. Through his association with Better Loosen Up, he experienced the highs and the lows that only thoroughbred horse racing can provide.
He compares with anything I've seen. My father has, says Dulcify was the best 3-year-old he's had anything to do with and probably he's seen. I think but Dad concedes as a 4 and 5-year-old this horse's record is as good, or if not on his day superior. And to have a horse that you could even compare with Dulcify or could be even compared with Kingston Town, it's pretty good. So I'm proud of the horse, and I just hope he can come back and show us all what he can do again.
Well, there he is. He certainly is a marvellous horse, Better Loosen Up. Let's hope he returns to racing in the not-too-distant future. The first of the Wait for Age stars we'll look at is Shaftesbury Avenue, arguably Australia's best sprinter miler. The Bart Cummings-trained galloper won the first of his 5 Group 1 races for the season in the spring.
Then Don't Play and Shaftesbury Avenue, followed by Mr Megabucks, Mighty Grey, Liverstone Lane and Superimpose with nowhere to go as they top the rise where Stargazer put the head in front of Show County. Alquoz in 3rd place, Shaftesbury Avenue on the outside, High Regard battling on. Shaftesbury Avenue coming after Stargazer. Stargazer still in front, Shaftesbury Avenue pounces on him. Look at Superimpose jumping out of the ground. It's going to be too late and Shaftesbury Avenue beat the fast finishing Superimpose.
Jim Cassidy took over the reins when the long striding chestnut showed his appreciation of the open spaces at Flemington.
Shaftesbury Avenue kicked away at the 300, gone 3 lengths to Spot the Rock. Dittman winding up, Ricochet Rosie coming out after the leader. Shaftesbury Avenue in front of the 200, 2 lengths in front of Ricochet Rosie, Spot the Rock. Then Ark Regal and Pressman's Choice, but Shaftesbury Avenue at the 100. He's 3 lengths clear, he'll win it easily. Shaftesbury Avenue by 3 lengths. Spot the Rock second, Pressman's Choice ahead away third, and Comrade.
Shaftesbury Avenue returned from a summer spell and was prepared for a first up tilt at the Lightning Stakes. Jim Cassidy was seen at his brilliant best over the concluding stages.
And then wrap around on Shaftesbury Avenue without a lot of room from Grandiose. Still Lightning Bend in front of Bureaucracy, who's coming now. And wrap around is finishing quickly. Lightning Bend and Bureaucracy wrap around and Grandiose. And Shaftesbury Avenue's flown.
Shaftesbury Avenue lifted his stake earnings over the $1 million mark in winning the Lightning Stakes and gave trainer Bart Cummings win number 7 in the race. Injury prevented Jim Cassidy from riding Shaftesbury Avenue in the Newmarket Handicap. However, Darren Gauci proved to be more than a capable replacement.
At the 300, Redelva under the whip in front from Shaftesbury Avenue coming up on the rails. And then Joanne followed by Alquoz and Grandiose. But Shaftesbury Avenue got to Redelva with 150 metres to go. Redelva fights back. They've got it to themselves. Century God with a late run at Shaftesbury Avenue in front. Shaftesbury Avenue by a head as they near the line. Shaftesbury Avenue won it by a long head, Redelva. Century God flew home to get third and then...
Shaftesbury Avenue's win gave Bart Cummings a record 8 wins in Australia's Premier Sprint. The master trainer then prepared the 4-year-old, which he part owns, for the Doncaster Handicap. Shaftesbury Avenue finished a close-up 4th to Superimpose in the Big Randwick Mile, and 1 week later the pair clashed again in the All-Age Stakes.
Superimpose has now pulled to the extreme outside. He's about 4 off the lead, but Marshall hasn't moved on Shaftesbury Avenue as the big chestnut hits the front. Shaftesbury Avenue takes the lead on top of the rise. Superimpose wide out. Stylish Sensory on the fence battling on, but Shaftesbury Avenue with superior acceleration left them standing. Shaftesbury Avenue has blasted away from Superimpose, and it's a sensational win to the Avenue. Shaftesbury Avenue by 4 lengths to Superimpose.
Shaftesbury Avenue's 5 Group 1 wins for the season stamps him as one of the best sprinter milers seen in recent years. A $50,000 purchase at the Inglis Easter Sales, the long-striding chestnut is a son of Salieri, who stands at the historic Wooden Stud in the Hunter Valley.
It seems like the grand old campaigner Redelva has been around forever. In his 6th season, and with regular partner Neville Wilson aboard, the big chestnut was trying to win his 2nd Linlithgow Stakes at Flemington in November.
Redelva 250 to go, led by about 1.5 lengths. Alquoz is starting to finish well, and Beau George the rails. Redelva still in front though. At the 100 he's a length to Alquoz, who's ducking about. Redelva in front by a length, Alquoz and Beau George, and Redelva will win another one. Redelva first from Alquoz, and Beau George is third on the rails.
Redelva survived a protest from the rider of Alquoz to win his 11th group race. He returned in the summer to win the Wait for Age Rubiton Stakes before attempting to win the 2nd Group 1 race of his career.
With Me took over on the turn, tackled immediately by Red Elva. Mr. Till running on from Lightning Bend and Grandiose. Red Elva has pounced on With Me from Mr. Till, and Red Elva punched out by Neville Wilson wins the day. Close for second, give it to With Me from Mr. Till.
At the ripe old age of 7, Red Elva scorched around the Moonee Valley circuit in 19.6 to give his younger rivals a galloping lesson. Next stop was the Futurity Stakes at Caulfield, a track the big horse had never won at before.
Redelva in front of Bureaucracy. They'll fight it out. Redelva the inside won't give in. He's kicked away from Bureaucracy. Dittman trying to reach for the leader, but Redelva still in front, and Redelva all the way from Bureaucracy.
In 6 seasons of racing, Redelva has belied his modest pedigree to accumulate $1.6 million for his owners. The South Australian trained gelding will be back next season to try and win his 4th Group 1 event.
After bleeding during the running of the Caulfield Stakes in the spring, the mighty Superimpose returned in the autumn to win the Chester Manifold Stakes first up at Flemington. Lee Freedman then continued his campaign in Sydney.
And Superimpose has raced up to head them at the 200 mark. Superimpose draws clear of Royal Creation, who's hanging on gamely. Dr. Grace is plugging away on the outside. Superimpose, though, about a neck in front. Royal Creation's making him stretch as they come to the line. Oh, he had a pretty hard gallop, Superimpose, but he gets
Formerly
there
known as the Sedgenho Stakes, Superimpose then contested the Ramvet Stakes at Rose Hill.
In the stretch, and Strokes put the head in front of Dr. Grace. Royal Creation not getting a lot of room. Beedman hasn't popped the question yet on Super. Now he does. And Superimpose on the outside raced up to hit the front at the 200 mark. Royal Creation getting through into second place, but Superimpose quickly beat off Royal Creation. He wanted to duck in a bit, but he is striding away, and he adds to his magnificent record, Superimpose. He won.
The BMW at Rose Hill was shaping up to be one of the season's best races. However, injuries to the champion Better Loosen Up and the Melbourne Cup winner Kingston Rule during the lead-up week depleted the field somewhat.
5 lengths away, Citizen, and then Superimpose, giving them a long start. He wanted to hang in behind Citizen, and Beedman has to wrestle him across the heels of that horse. At the 300 mark, Dr. Grace again beat off Centro. Little Shazora down the outside might be the danger, and then Castletown. Superimpose will run last. Dr. Grace still in front. Shazora, as game as they come, is trying to pick him up, but she won't reach last year's Derby winner, and Dr. Grace leads most of the way to win the BMW.
Rider of the moment, Shane Dye, steered last year's AJC Derby winner Dr. Grace to an all-the-way victory in the BMW. It was the 8th win of the 4-year-old's career and lifted his stake earnings over the $2 million mark.
The failure of Superimpose in the BMW was a shock to his connections and to punters. But the 6-year-old was to prove that the run was completely out of character, as we'll see later in the program. One of the stars from last season was the free-running 3-year-old Stylish Century. This season at Ford, the black horse had nearly drowned in a freak accident during swimming exercise, then travelled to Japan where he bolted before the Cup, but still ran so bravely. A welcome change of fortune came Stylish Century's way in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Randwick.
Over the rise now, Stylish Century again tackled by Comrade on the outside, and Comrade takes a narrow lead on top of the rise. They're clear of Liverstone Lane, and Royal Creation followed by Red Chiffon. Citizen will run last. At the 200, Stylish Century fighting back. Again, he's got the measure of Comrade. Now Royal Creation on the outsiders coming after Stylish. Stylish still in front. Royal Creation trying his heart out, but can't pick up the little black marble. And Stylish Century...
In winning the 3rd Group 1 event of his career, Stylish Century lifted his stake earnings to $2.26 million. The son of Double Century endured an upside-down season, but showed at Randwick that he still possesses that touch of class.
The Dave O'Sullivan trained Surface Paradise won 4 Group 1 races in season 1991, a fact that no doubt assisted the respected mentor to claim the colt the best 3-year-old he has prepared. One of those Group 1 wins was at weight for age against older horses, before he crossed the Tasman to win the Rose Hill Guineas.
At the 300 metres, Grey Invader and now Surface Paradise set down to it. Surface Paradise kicked along on the inside with a lighter weight led from Grey Invader, winding up Seraphic after the leaders, but Surface Paradise a big break going clear at the 200 metres. Far too good. Surface Paradise bolts in 4 to 5 lengths going to the post. Second was Seraphic, third Grey Invader just from Mr. Brooker.
There's no doubting that Surface Paradise possesses exceptional ability, or the fact that he'll be back in Australia as a 4-year-old chasing the rich prize money on offer. Our final race in this segment is the TV New Zealand Stakes.
They head in 300 to go. Mickey's Town got the lead. Here comes Raise Hope strongly after it. Regal City winding up a bit. Mickey's Town, Raise Hope, the two. Raise Hope going to Mickey's Town. Nothing between them. Battling for the minors, Regal City and Point Piper, but Raise Hope takes over. He's going for the double and the kicking again on the inside. Mickey's Town, Raise Hope. Raise Hope just in front of Mickey's Town. Raise Hope won the stake. Second was Mickey's Town. Third was Brown Jumper from Regal City. Then followed
Raise Hope was ridden by Linda Kropp, giving her the distinction of being the only female jockey to ride a Group 1 winner during the season. Raise Hope is a 4-year-old son of leading New Zealand-based sire Starway.
Weight for age events certainly provide some excellent racing, and this season was no exception. Next up, Bill Collins reviews the stayers.
When his nerves are a wreck, cause it's his bloomin' neck. He's depending on you to get the package through. It's just gotta be there, but no one seems to care. You know you're not alone, just pick up the phone. Say hello, Comet. Hello, say hello, Comet. Say hello, 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 Comet. Right across Australia or just across the town, Comet never lets you down. Say hello, 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 Comet.
Logans for horse insurance. Logans lead the way in all types of thoroughbred insurance. Most Australian and New Zealand studmasters rely on Logans for their insurance requirements. Logans attend all major yearling sales, so next time you need horse insurance, call the experts. Logans.
Over the years, the great sire Zamazan has produced some great stayers, including the champion Bozam, now standing at stud in Japan. At Ascot on New Year's Day, he did it again.
250 to go, Ideal Sentiment, joined by Word of Honour, mounting on the outside from the Hippogriff, down to the 100, Word of Honour and Ideal Sentiment fight it out from Mountie. Zamlight the outside, and Manamahal. Zamlight takes the lead, 50 to go, and Zamlight has won the cup.
In winning, Zamlight became the 8th individual 3,200-metre Group 1 winner sired by Zamazan, that great sire of stayers who died in April 1990 at the age of 25.
Across the Tasman, also on New Year's Day, the Auckland Cup is run. Typical of the patience shown by the New Zealanders, it was won by a horse who didn't race until a 4-year-old.
At the 300 metres, though, the leader is now Sugar, shot to the lead, the outsider. Here's Coconut Ice coming along the inside. Castletown still looming down the very outside with Star Harvest and El Sabar, but it's Sugar in front, Coconut Ice coming after them, Star Harvest and out wide, Castletown across the track, and it's a roughie. Star Harvest got his nose in front. Star Harvest has won the cup. Second was Sugar Photos with Coconut Ice.
The modestly bred Star Harvest scored the biggest win of his 37-start career. It was an unusual result among the riding ranks, as the winner was ridden by Jim Collett and the runner-up by his wife Trudy.
Run just 4 days after the Melbourne Cup, the Lion Brown New Zealand Cup at Riccarton attracted only a moderate field.
Sounderation straightens them up from Secret Invader, Street Hawk, Prince Kumai's getting the run and the rail. Further out, Luskin Ladies coming right into it, and down the outside has gone wrong. Our caddy is piercing through behind them, but the mare Sounderation in front with 150 to go. She's clear from our caddy, and wider out, Red Fox is finishing well. Further out on the track then to Gone Wrong, but Sounderation will win the 1990 Cup from our caddy, followed home by
Sounderation, a 5-year-old mare by Sound Reason, ran a course record for the 3,200-metre journey. The Group 1 event is the biggest success to date for leading South Island rider Grant Davidson.
The $300,000 Wellington Cup attracted several of New Zealand's better-known stayers. Over the concluding stages, the Cup developed into a tenacious duel between last year's Derby winner Castletown and the good mare Shazora.
Oh, here's Castletown with a brilliant run down the outside. Castletown and Shuzora's tracking her through, then Goliath. They were followed further back, Coconut Ice, Rural Prince running on Syringo. It's Castletown in front of the Cup, Coconut Ice and Rural Prince, and Shuzora's coming on the inside, Castletown, Shuzora the inside, Castletown and Shuzora. Castletown, I think.
Castletown, a 4-year-old son of £1 sterling, campaigned in Australia later in the year when he added the AJC St Ledger to his career record.
In the spring, Just a Dancer had impressed many good judges, including Jim Cassidy, who had preferred to ride the 4-year-old over Kingston Rule in the Melbourne Cup. Just a Dancer returned in the autumn, but his form leading up to the Sydney Cup had been disappointing.
Phil the Bill has rushed up on the outside to grab them as they top the rise. Phil the Bill takes the lead. Now Castletown and Just a Dancer down the extreme outside. Just a Dancer has grabbed them quickly. Just a Dancer on the extreme outside takes the lead, 100 out in the Sydney Cup, and he is sprinting right away from them. Just a Dancer is killing them now. With every stride he goes further ahead, and Just a Dancer wins the Cup in a trot, won by...
Starting at odds of 40 to 1, Just a Dancer produced his best form to equal the race and course record that was set by Apollo 11 in 1973. In winning the Sydney Cup, Just a Dancer became the first progeny of the successful sire Star Way to win over 3,200 metres.
This year's Adelaide Cup attracted a strong field of stayers. Favoured for the feature race was the Bart Cummings-trained 3-year-old Shiva's Revenge, who had won the South Australian Derby at his previous start.
Ideal Sentiment, cuddled by the rider, is doing it well. 2 in front of Shiva's Revenge, trying hard. Teakau Pearl ready to a back behind him. Over on the outside of those coming later, Spring Thor. Ideal Sentiment in front, he's holding Shiva's Revenge. Ideal Sentiment still in front. Ideal Sentiment, go to woe. Ideal Sentiment, an enormous roar from the crowd.
Harry White's ride on the 7-year-old son of 3 legs was an absolute gem, as he led for most of the 3,200 metre journey. Trained by Clive Belfer, Ideal Sentiment lifted his career earnings to $650,000 and gave Harry White his only Group 1 win for the season.
For the last of the 3,200 metre cup races of the season, we go to Eagle Farm for the Brisbane Cup.
300 metres out, Equidity and Spring Thor. Just a Dancer on the outside coming after them. He's probably got his nose in front, Just a Dancer. Just a Dancer in front of Spring Thor. Just a Dancer coming away from Spring Thor. Then Equidity and Donegal Miss, but Just a Dancer, he's too good. Just a Dancer.
Just a Dancer's jockey, Jim Cassidy, was in great form during the Winter Carnivals, winning 3 Group 1 events, a feat never achieved before. 2 of those wins were aboard the New Zealand-trained 4-year-old Rough Habit, who became the first horse since Divide and Rule in 1970 to win the Stradbroke Handicap 4X Cup double. Here's the second leg of Rough Habit's historic double, the 4X Cup.
250 metres to go. Rough Habit, 3 or 4 lengths in front of Stargazer, Cadeo Star, and then Post Elect. But have a look at this. Fancy picking up $250,000 as easy as this. Rough Habit is going to win the Cup by 4 lengths. Rough Habit first.
The Cox Plate is the race that John Wheeler will attempt to win for the second time with Rough Habit, the horse who emerged as the star of the Winter Carnivals in Queensland.
The Victorian Racing Calendar, published monthly and carrying vital information to the racing professional. This is a proven advertising success. It gets results because it goes directly to, and most importantly, is read by your target market. For all advertising inquiries, contact Julian Sullivan on 03 863 7333. The most respected name in bloodstock transport, Premier Bloodstock Transport. Regularly servicing Scone, Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. Experienced drivers and handlers ensure the safe delivery of your valuable thoroughbred. So remember one name when your horse is on the move. That name is Premier. Telephone toll-free 008 032 085. Premier Bloodstock Transport.
Formerly known as the Freeway Stakes, the race was renamed in 1984 in honour of the champion sprinter Manicato. It is the first Group 1 event of the season for the sprinters.
Street Ruffian accelerated away around the turn, and the Bush Battler, Street Ruffian, straightened up 2 in front of Show County. Jet Fighter getting out now. Jet Fighter at the 200 metre mark, ranging out after Street Ruffian. Then further back, the other struggling, headed by King's High. Jet Fighter and Street Ruffian, Jet Fighter getting his nose up to Street Ruffian, down the line. Street Ruffian fights back. Street Ruffian, a nose on the inside, Jet Fighter.
Having won twice at weight for age prior to the Manicato Stakes, Street Ruffian bounced straight to the lead and held on for a courageous win. A son of the former good sprinter Martin Raffendale, Street Ruffian provided jockey Darren Triandafalou with his first Group 1 success.
Season 1990-91 saw the emergence of apprentice Damien Oliver as one of Victoria's leading riders. Apprentice to Lee Freedman at Flemington, Oliver landed the first Group 1 success of his career at Caulfield in the spring.
Black Blaze just in front. Plush Embassy throws out the challenge. Immediately they turn. Then came Gaudeamus and Crimson Medal looking for the way clear from Kirksite. Crimson Medal's coming with a big run down the outside at the 200 where Plush Embassy had hit the front. Submariner's angling for the rails now. It's Plush Embassy in front. Crimson Medal coming at it and Submariner on the fence. Submariner finishes the best along the rails and he's got up to win.
Submariner's win in the Showdown Handicap was the first of 9 Group 1 races that Bart Cummings won in season 1991. The son of Sea Anchor continues the success of horses syndicated by Harry Lawton.
In last year's Gadsden Stakes, we saw Planet Ruler scorch down the straight 6 at Flemington to win in course record time. They say history never repeats. Well, here's one occasion when it did.
With me, here comes Rodelva on the outside, finishing very quickly, followed by Submariner. Joanne is struggling. It's Show County stopping. Rodelva coming at it quickly, and now Planet Ruler, last year's winner, he'll win it again. Flies home, Planet Ruler. Planet Ruler got up to beat Rodelva.
In winning, Planet Ruler lowered his own course record by 0.2 of a second and took his stake earnings to $876,000. Planet Ruler was one of the 6 group winners prepared by David Hayes on Derby Day.
Across in New Zealand, a sprinter regarded as a true champion by his trainer was also creating his own piece of history.
Mr. Tiz is a mile back. Down the straight they come, and the leader he's blushing, led by 2.5. He's still got them flat. Hypervane is next, then followed Foreign Influence battling on, and Lancaster Square. And Mr. Tiz is storming home late, and it's still, he's blushing in front. Here's Foreign Influence. Watch Mr. Tiz. Oh, geez, good. Mr. Tiz has got up from an impossible position.
It was a fantastic performance by Mr. Tiz to win his 3rd railway handicap. A few weeks later, the champion sprinter tried to etch his name further into the record books as he attempted to win the Group 1 Telegraph handicap for the 3rd consecutive year.
At the moment, the leader, Squire Grey, is Mr. Tiz looking for racing room, and Vain Sovereign in the meantime has gone up on the outside and grabbed the lead. So it's Vain Sovereign in front now from Hypervane. Mr. Tiz is running on, he'll be too late. Vain Sovereign's got the break, and Vain Sovereign goes on to win the Telegraph from Mr. Tiz. 3rd home was Hypervane, Rosen Cavalier.
Vain Sovereign is trained by Maurice Campbell, who is well remembered by Australians as the rider of the great Balmerino. Campbell stands truly vain at his Kentucky Downs stud, which is managed by his wife Paula.
The Oakley Plate is the 2nd leg of the Triple Crown for sprinters and has been won by some great speedsters over the years. This year, a 3-year-old filly won the race, the first to do so since dual choice in 1971.
In the straight now, and here's Packlani coming with a run. Coming with her is With Me, who started through on the inside. Knocked good old Ted over. Street Ruffian and then wrap around. But With Me's dashed through on the inside to head Packlani in the last 100. With Me from Packlani and wrap around. Joanne late, but it's With Me. With Me scores by a length and a half. Packlani...
Most punters gave With Me little chance of winning as she started from the extreme outside barrier. But Miracle Mel Johnson was seen at his best aboard the Bruce McLaughlin trained 3-year-old, who took her earnings to $1.1 million.
Following his win in the Ascot Vale Stakes during the spring, the Sydney Colt Bureaucracy ran several placings in feature races, including the Group 1 Lightning and Futurity Stakes. The classy colt was rewarded for his consistency in the Sydney Turf Club's premier sprint, the George Ryder Stakes.
In the straight, the 3-year-old Bureaucracy has raced up to head Stylish Century. Bureaucracy takes the lead, coming to the 200 mark. They're well clear of pre-record, followed by Bassie's Pride and then Mr. Tiz and Comrade, but Bureaucracy shot clear. Bureaucracy has got it one. He's dashed about 3 in front of Stylish Century. Comrade is getting home well in the last bit, but Bureaucracy wins the George Ryder. Comrade second
Bureaucracy
again.
is the 2nd Group 1 winner from the first crop of the Bletchingley stallion Lord Ballina. Having only his 12th career start, the 3-year-old broke Campaign King's race record set in 1987. Bureaucracy's win was one of 5 Group 1 races won by Sydney trainer Jack Denham this season.
In the autumn, New Zealand's champion sprinter Mr. Tiz made his 3rd trip to Australia. On this occasion, the 6-year-old revealed his true ability to Australian racegoers.
Festal is tackled by With Me on the outside. Show County's gone. It's With Me coming at Festal. Varicos is starting to charge home in 3rd place, but getting close to home. Festal, With Me, Varicos. And look at Mr. Tiz. He's going to beat them all. Mr. Tiz, the New Zealander, has come from 2nd last, and that's his real form today.
The brilliant Mr. Tiz is rated one of New Zealand's best post-war sprinters. In winning the 7th Group 1 race of his career, Mr. Tiz established a weight-carrying record in the AJC's Premier Sprint. Mr. Tiz is undoubtedly the best sprinter sired by champion stallion Bletchingley.
Last year, when Beau George defeated Crush in South Australia's Premier Sprint, the Goodwood Handicap, it was local trainer David Belfer's first Group 1 success. This year, a margin of only a half a head was all that prevented an amazing repeat of the placings.
Crush is starting to storm home out wide. So they race to the 250 and Crush has swept to the lead in the Goodwood. He's dashed away, and as they race down with 150 to go, the interest is going to be in the minors. It's Crush clear. Here's Beau George swarming home out wide. Crush is stopping, but Beau George I don't think is going to get him. No, Crush has won.
Crush survived a protest by Greg Hall on Beau George to give young trainer Paula Groves the thrill of a lifetime. Groves originally trained Crush in the Northern Territory before moving to Adelaide on a permanent basis. Crush gave Sydney jockey Ken Russell his second Group 1 success of the season.
Well, it seems that this season the sprinters really decided to make a major contribution to rewriting history in feature races in Australia and New Zealand. In the Castlemaine 10,000 run at Doomben, they're at it again.
300 metres to go. Gypsy Road joined on the outside by With Me, and here comes Barossa Boy. He's dropping from the clouds on the outside. He's gone to them. Tiny Sfinito now into second place. Marimbula Bay and Prince Trialia's running on. Barossa Boy in front of Tiny Sfinito. Prince Trialia's coming at them hard, and he's going to do it again. He's going to win 2 10,000s in a row.
Prince Trialia, the horse bought for the price of a beer, became the first horse since Black Onyx in 69 and 70 to score successive victories in this feature sprint. The 6-year-old, who had not won a race in between these successive wins, lifted his career earnings to $680,000.
Our final race in this segment of the Australasian Racing Year is the time-honoured sprint, the Stradbroke Handicap.
Rough Habit about 10 deep, but starting to wind up. He's coming after them now, the favourite. He's joining in quickly. Oh, Cassidy's confident. He snuck a look over the shoulder and he's hit the lead. 200 metres out. Rough Habit sprinted away from Barossa Boy and New Clay. St Jude running on. But have a look at this. This is going to be one of the easiest wins we've ever seen. Rough Habit by 5 lengths. St Jude second. Barossa Boy third. Then
a winner of the Queensland Derby at the corresponding meeting last season, the New Zealand-trained Rough Habit revelled in the heavy going to score an impressive win. The versatile 4-year-old was one of 7 Group 1 victories for jockey Jim Cassidy in season 1991.
Rough Habit certainly looks to be an exciting prospect, and all going well, I'm sure will feature on the next edition of the Australasian Racing Year. That concludes my contribution on this edition, so until next year, good luck.
Win with Windskins, Lycra form-hugging look of the 20th century racing colours. State-of-the-art technology that gives a proven winning edge. The place-getters in the 89 and 90 Melbourne Cup all raced in Windskins, breaking race records in both years. Be sure you're a winner with Windskins. Phone or fax for fast order details. Windskins of Australia. Phone 057 962 374 or fax 057 962 511.
The horse that races in the colours carried by the immortal Carbine has already featured earlier in the programme. I am, of course, referring to that great little horse, Superimpose. There's no doubt that this season 2 of his finest performances were over the tough Randwick Mile. In the spring, it was the Epsom Handicap.
And Superimpose down the outside, many chances at the 200. Liverstone Lane, Don't Play, Comrade. Our Poverty Bay is joining in, and his Paul Landick and Superimpose right down the extreme outside. Is he going to win another big Randwick Mile? Superimpose, a super horse. What a horse. Superimpose beat Our Poverty Bay in the Epsom. Ricochet.
In winning the Epsom, Superimpose lifted his earnings to $2.1 million and became only the 3rd horse in 130 years to win the Doncaster Epsom Double in the same calendar year. Later in the spring, Superimpose suffered a bleeding attack, but returned in the autumn to win 3 Group 1 races, including his 2nd Doncaster Handicap.
Superimpose right down the outside. Here comes the top weight at the 200. St Jude. Liverstone Lane burst through on the rail. Superimpose down the outside. Liverstone Lane in front, but go Super. Superimpose is mowing down Liverstone Lane. Superimpose has done it again.
Superimpose joined the illustrious trio of Chatham, Gun Sind and Authentic Air as the only horses to have won the Epsom Doncaster Double in the same season. Carrying top weight at 59.5 kilos, the 6-year-old boosted his career earnings to $3.27 million in winning the 13th race of his great career.
Run at Caulfield, the Turek Handicap is one of Victoria's most prestigious races for the milers. In this year's field, 9 of the 18 horses who faced the starter had Group 1 victories to their credit.
Arc Regal tackled by Planet Ruler and then Ricochet Rosie and Cool Credit. It's Planet Ruler in front below the 200, but Ricochet Rosie picks him up in a stride and the grey dashes away. And under the whip, she's sprinting clear. Ricochet Rosie will win it brilliantly. Ricochet Rosie by about 2 lengths. Comrade got up on the inside.
Ridden a copybook race by Mick Dittman, the Sydney-trained Ricochet Rosie showed good acceleration to land the biggest win of her career. A 5-year-old daughter of the Sir Ivor stallion Galveston, Ricochet Rosie was one of 6 Group 1 winners for Mick Dittman in season 1981.
We head west now, where that old warrior of the turf, Vo Rogue, was trying to win his 2nd Winfield Stakes at Ascot.
Marwong and Vo Rogue fight it out from Railbreaker. Barlandy, Edge of Darkness coming with a big run. And also down the outside, Pressman's Choice and Marvellous. Pressman's Choice, Marvellous, Barlandy, Edge of Darkness, Barlandy, Barlandy's won.
The winner, Bar Landy, was a former top-class 3-year-old who showed that he'd fully recovered from a virus that very nearly ended his career. The 5-year-old's win was trainer Peter Ilsley's first Group 1 success and a welcome change of luck for Wayne Chalor.
Everyone knows that the shortest way home in a horse race is to follow the rails. In Western Australia's premier 1600-metre event, jockey Jason Oliver rode the perfect rail-hugging race after starting from the outside barrier.
250 to go, and Jungle Hero the leader, 1.5 lengths from Marwong. Century got down the outside, Medicine Kid is finishing brilliantly. Jungle Hero joined by Medicine Kid. Century got the outside, Medicine Kid takes the lead, and Medicine Kid wins.
Medicine Kid's win in the railway was the biggest success to date for both jockey Jason Oliver and trainer Ross Price.
For our final Group 1 races on this edition of the Australasian Racing Year, we cross to the land of the long white cloud. The father and son duo of Dave and Lance O'Sullivan enjoyed a tremendous season, combining on 6 occasions to win Group 1 events. One of these victories came in the Thorndon Mile at Trentham.
Fire Commanders just cruised up to Stan Merrick. Between the two is Squire Graham. Coming down the outside is Cordano and Scaramuccio. And Go Bush coming into it, but Fire Commanders got the lead now from Stan Merrick. And here's Seamist coming out of the bolt from the blue, but Fire Commanders in front of Seamist. Fire Commander beat Seamist and Greenback got up to beat Stan Merrick.
Fire Commander showed plenty of class in winning his 7th race from only 11 career starts. The 4-year-old is the first Group 1 winner for his sire, Superimposing.
Earlier in the programme, we saw lady jockey Linda Kropp win the TV New Zealand Stakes on Ray's Hope. In the Easter Cup at Ellerslie, the combination made it 2 Group 1s for the season, but only just.
250 to go, Javelin. They've still got to get it from Al Kufra. Here's Ray's Hope coming between the two with a likely run, and it's Javelin on the inside, responding to Ray's Hope, which is coming out at our high noon down the very outside. Javelin just in front, coming out at Ray's Hope hard. Javelin on the inside is just beaten, I think, very close with Ray's Hope.
Well, I'm sure you'll agree it was yet another exciting season of racing. Of the many highlights and history-making performances, Better Loosen Up's spine-tingling finish to win the Japan Cup, accompanied by Brian Martin's great call, was a beauty. Until edition 10 of the Australasian Racing Year, I look forward to seeing you on a racecourse.